Is there something interfering with your happiness? Is there something interfering with your happiness? And I've gotten help from this company, BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/THEO. That's BETTERHELP, and join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and TPW listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/THEO. It may be an option for you. You know, you don't need to wait till the new year to start achieving your fitness goals. That's a thing. Finding the time or motivation to fit in a workout during the busy holiday season can be tough. But with Peloton, you'll get a fitness experience that's so entertaining and fun, you'll always be looking forward to your next session. Right now, you can get $350 off the Peloton bike. It's their best offer of the year. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more. That's ONEPELOTON.com to learn more. Today's episode is brought to you by Liquid Death. It's that time of year. Always. And you guys have been waiting, and we are happy to let you know that the new I'm Upstairs merch collection is available now at theovonstore.com. The greatest excuse on earth. If you need something, wish I could help, baby, but I'm upstairs. If you need me, you know where I'm at. theovonstore.com. Thank you guys for all your love and support. Today's guest is the owner of Hazard Mill Farms, and he farms roughly 75,000 birds a year, getting them out the door and onto the dinner. He's a second-generation turkey farmer here in the United States of America. We're happy to have that bird man with us today. Turkey farmer Robert Hupman. Robert Hupman, we're sitting here with the turkey farmer, baby. This is your time of year really coming up.
Yeah, we generally, it's kind of funny, we get that a lot, but we're year-round, you know. So Thanksgiving is just another day for us. We're pumping turkeys, 24/7.
Oh, dang, man. But do do you wake up on Thanksgiving morning and you're like fired up, and the kids are all, they're fired up, and people are doing like turkey calls? Like, is it that kind of a day for you guys? Is it how big of this time of year is y'all's market share basically?
For our market share, it's probably, I don't know, maybe.
And I don't know what market share means also.
Yeah, so generally we're growing birds year round. So if my flock happens to go out before Thanksgiving or a month before, fine. If it doesn't, it's probably about, I don't know, 30% of what a true turkey farm goes through, because we're pumping out. We're selling breast meat for lunch meat and other items like that. So
I've had some. I mean, I don't know if I've had you guys. How do I know if I've had you guys as turkey?
Most likely, if you ever had a Dietz and Watson sliced turkey, that'd probably be one of ours.
Damn, very, man, very thanks. Yeah, I've loved it.
We send some stuff out. When you lived in LA, I think California buys some of our product as well. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, I probably enjoyed it there. Okay, so for just a regular human, right? I'm a human consumer. What part of the turkey is used for, I guess let me start here. I'm just trying to think of where to start with, like a turkey farmer. Like,
you want a day in the life of a turkey farmer, like start to finish, what I go through?
Yeah. What's like when you get up in the morning? Like, what does it go like? Thank you.
So I'll wake up.
I don't even know why I'm here.
No, you're
Thank
good.
You.
You're good.
Thank
man.
you very much. I've never been good, but that's sweet of you.
No.
Yeah, Robert. So what is it like? So you start in the beginning of the day. What's it like?
So normally I wake up 3:30, 4 o'clock a.m., do a little paperwork, knock some emails out, go through the birds, Luckily, right now I got a full-time farmhand. This is the
Okay.
first time ever, so I don't have to be up there as much. But we're going through them every day. You're checking for any type of mortality, making sure they all have automatic feeders. So there's one feed line that runs continuously down the barn, 800 and some feet long.
So a feeder that runs down the barn that
Yep.
they're all housed in.
Yep, they're housed in. It's they have plenty of room, ample amount. Biosecurity is key, so we dress up, suit up, go through, dip pans, make sure nothing comes in from the barn that's not supposed to be in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're very to the niche. We do like animal welfare every year. We're really on top of our game because this is our livelihood. This is what I feed my kid
Right.
with. And sometimes commercial farms they'll call it commercial farms, but it's really just a small town guy. It's a family maybe running a dairy operation, maybe running cattle, and then they're also substituting some income for other family members for turkeys.
Okay.
So I make the same amount of money as if I was running maybe 200 head of cattle.
Okay. Wow. So with the amount of turkeys you're running.
Yes.
And how many birds you guys, how many birds you guys dealing with over there?
So roughly like 19,000 to 22,000 per flock, and that's 2 barns.
So, okay, so 19,000 per flock. So what does that mean?
So generally we have a flock, and it'll last 19 weeks to a full-grown bird, and they go to market.
Okay. Okay.
And then depending how it rotates, you'll have like 4 weeks down, 8 weeks down, depending when they're ready to place you with more poults or more turkeys from the hatchery.
Okay, so it starts with you get a batch of turkeys.
Yeah.
So you have no turkeys at some point.
Yeah. So sometimes I'll have a downtime for 4 weeks while we're cleaning turkey shit.
Okay. So you're just cleaning out the barns.
Yeah.
So, okay, so then you get the batch, right?
Yep. They come in fresh shavings, laying. We've spread out brand new shavings.
And they're all shaved out?
Yeah, we clean the poop out. It's
boy.
all nice, clean, pretty
Damn
ground for 'em.
strip club up in there,
Yeah,
son.
nice lights.
Okay, so you get them in, and are they scared? Are they excited? What do they seem like?
They're ready to eat.
Okay.
So they've done travel, got there. They're really happy birds. They're clucking.
They've been on the road. They're
Yeah.
ready to chill out.
Yeah, so we load them in. They come in. It's nice and warm in there for them because when they're younger, they like it up, around the 80s to 100, depending on how the age of the bird.
Okay, so you guys have lamps and stuff in there that keep them warm.
Propane heaters. Yep, we got propane heaters. We burn
Okay,
a lot
damn.
of propane. And
So they're all in this hat. At that point, you already bought them from a hatchery, so they're all in this barn.
yeah.
Okay, so you have them in this barn now. How long until those birds, until you guys, just pull that card on them, and lower them out and send them onto the market?
18 and a half to 19 weeks.
Wow.
So and then when they go out, they're, averaging 40 to 45 pounds. Depending how well the feed conversion.
Okay. So, and that is, you guys are feeding them the whole time. How often do you feed them?
They eat nonstop. They have
No way.
they have access to water and food the entire
damn.
time. They're
Like my buddy Corey, dude.
full
this guy.
buffet.
And will they eat, and what are they eating? Corn?
It's a corn, soybean, and then sometimes wheat, and it's all natural. We have our own hatchery, so
Y'all ever go out there and give them a little snack at night? Is there any kind of a bedtime snack? Is there anything where you're going to sneak out there, you feeling in a good mood, you're going to go out there and hook them up?
Nah, like maybe you want moon pie, but they're like, nah, we're good.
So they just like they're real specific.
No, they really just like that feed, that corn, soybean mix. I mean, that's pretty much it. Their water, we have a water system. I mean, they get in perfect pH every time.
Okay.
So like we're really, really big on their water.
So it's like a little spa in there. They're they got the heat going, they got the food coming in. They're really living pretty large in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Curtains go down, they get natural light, they get to see outside a little bit. I mean, they're safe from any type of predators.
Sounds like a detox I went to one time, honestly, to be real honest. Yeah. Now what about this? So then you go in there on your daily routine, you cruise in there.
We cruise in there.
You have special, you got the gear on because you don't want to. How detrimental is it if you bring in something from the outside world?
So just for instance, you probably heard of avian flu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like back 2016, 15 and 16, they had a huge outbreak, killed 1 million plus birds nationwide.
Damn.
Which it helped.
Damn.
Yeah. You're
I didn't
talking.
know it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it we didn't luckily hit it, and I hate to prosper on bad terms for other farmers because I hope we all get our rightful
Right.
due and everybody is successful. But it helped us out and bumped us up real high, and we did very well not having that avian flu. But it's literally, if I went outside, stepped in some goose crap, and that fecal matter was on my shoe, if I stepped in that barn with the same clothes I had on with that, it would 100% affect and mortality rate kill them all.
No way.
Within like 3 days.
Damn. So they're it's almost like they sound like almost like a not a science experiment, but they're like a real specific recipe. If you put in a little bit of something that's not good, it's going down.
Yeah, and see, like avian,
they're real sensitive.
Yeah, so other birds can affect other birds. Same like you can't have chickens on a turkey farm. Same, I can't have turkeys on a chicken farm. Stuff that would mess with a chicken will mess with a turkey.
Oh, really?
And it won't see them like the geese that fly. You know, they're just a carrier. They don't die from the avian flu, but they can spread it to other birds. And even if say
damn, it's like Succession. Have you seen that show?
No, actually I haven't.
It's like it's like family members they're just not. It's not just like that, but it's
similar.
Yeah, it's just like, they're the same breed. You'd think everybody be looking out for each other. A goose is gonna fly by and give them a little intel or something, drop a note. But instead, it's a family right here. The front guy almost looks like he got a little gobble on him. But they're all like rich people, and they're all like backstabbing, but they're all the same breed.
I did see the first season. Now that you said that,
yeah, I've just seen a little bit, but I got to see some more. But anyway, so this is really cool. So now you go in there. You guys are kind of like you're careful what you bring into the barn.
Yep.
And you get in there. It's the early morning, and then what are you guys doing at that point?
So we're going through making sure none of the water lines are broke. There's no water leaks. The feed's all properly distributing through the lines.
Okay.
Occasionally you'll have a mortality. One bird might just croak.
And from what? Could have been anything?
Just anything, heart, liver, just sometimes you have so many birds in there. Well, not so many, but you'll have birds in there and they just, just like human life, man, out here. No different if you were raising farm outside in the field,
Oh, you could be jogging with your buddy and he's dead.
Just drop. Yeah. Same thing with those, dude. Tom just dropped. Tom
done,
number 2.
man.
He's like, bro, what's up?
Yeah.
I ain't never the same.
Win some, lose some, man. And you don't know what's going on. They might have small beef going on in there.
They occasionally they do fight. They'll occasionally rough up each other. You got to break them up.
Will they?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like no nonsense Keith Peterson, baby. You got to get in there like Herb Dean right in between them. Okay, so now you got the farm going. Everything's going pretty swell.
Yeah.
At what point do you guys start to get them ready for the slaughter, basically? What do you call it?
Just harvest.
Okay.
Just kind of like same as if you're harvesting corn. Just we're getting ready to. It's I don't know, just going out or whatever. Birds go out. That's kind of what we.
Okay, they're going out. We got a group coming in. We got a group going out.
Yeah.
So it's a nice way to say it. They say it at senior homes too. A lot of times, you know, Donna's going out.
Yeah.
We got a question that came in right here for you, Robert.
Yep.
What up, Theo? Turkey farmer, how you doing? Yeah, I got a little question for you. So I assume you're taking these turkeys in, and you got to kill them for meat. Are you the one who's doing these killings? How do you go? Do you just chop its head off? How do you go about this? Is it peaceful? Is it a long process? And do you ever develop some sort of relationship with a certain turkey? Maybe he does like a little dance or something that you think's funny, and something unique about him that you don't want to let him go. You don't want to send him off to some family for dinner. So, have you ever kept one of these turkeys for a prolonged period of time? And that's about it. That'll do it right there for me. Theo, peace out.
Gang, brother. I hope the guy's clothed, but he might not be. That's the world we live in, man. It's just,
it is turkey farm you're interviewing. So.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
dude.
Topic.
I'd send in some. I'd be naked too if I'm talking to a bird, man, dude. I'm bringing my bird. So there you go. That's a nice question. What would you say to that? Like when it comes time to shut them down, right? Because you got to do it. It's got to be done. It's part of it.
So that's another aspect of the farm throughout. There's birds that need to be culled. Either they get a broken wing, broken leg, something happens, they twist their stuff up. You just got to euthanize them, immediately. Because we don't want no bird to suffer while they're there. We don't, if they can't get food, water, and they can't properly move, we just go ahead and take them out.
Because what happens if a bird's in there? If a bird's in there and he can't move, then what's going on?
The other birds will kill them.
No way.
Yeah, but we don't let that happen. So
And why do they do it? What's going on in there?
It's
Do you
just-
have any intel?
it's just turkeys being turkeys, man. Out in the real world, man, they don't care. They're,
Damn, it's like damn Sinaloa.
yeah. So that's why I was telling Spence over there that they're kind of like kids when they first come in. They're loving, they're happy, and then they turn into teenage assholes trying to kill you. Just like in jiu-jitsu class, little kids start cool, and then next thing you know, they're over here beating up on the old men.
Yeah. Okay, wow. So you got the birds now. You guys, and when they do send them out to harvest, when they send them out, what's the process? Do they line them all up and just neck them out?
Now this probably be a little wild. We'll bring in 19 tractor trailers and hand load them on 3 guys. They'll bring them up, and it's like a little escalator. It takes them right up, and they pick one up, put them in the cage, load the cage up. Truck goes down, turns back around. They can load a truck up in like 35 minutes.
And they gassing them?
Well, they take them back to the processing facility, and I think they use like a CO2 base, and they'll just put them to sleep. Then they're cutting them up.
Really?
Sing them up a conveyor belt.
So they put the meat they just put them to sleep.
Yeah.
So they're not shooting them. It's not like a bullet or anything.
No.
Yeah.
So like on the farm, you got 2 options for your animal welfare. You can either they have like a bolt gun, like a cap gun. And you'll hit them in the back of the head with it, and they'll just take them right out. Or some farmers rig up like a little box with CO2, and they'll put them in, and that way they go just go to sleep, and then you put them in the compost, and then we compost the birds for crop rotation. We'll put them on fields and stuff.
Oh, so they'll become a fertilizer almost.
Yeah, we'll create fertilizer. Yep, all natural.
So you guys don't do the actual. So the killing isn't actually done by you guys. It's shipped. It's like outsourced.
Yeah. So now I will.
Damn Bugsy Siegel out there just rolls up, huh?
Yeah. So we will kill birds, and ones I have to call, I'll pull the meat out for friends and family, cut the breast meat. I got some pictures I'll give you guys, and you can show them the size of the breast and stuff like that. But
damn,
yeah, man, constant.
Okay, so what were we talking about? The hitman, the guy comes in.
The trucks come in, we load them out at night, and then they they go to the plant, they get processed up, and then they're out the door within like 24 to 48 hours.
So you don't see them back. You're not there putting them in the box. You're not there putting them in those.
I'm there. I watch them go out and make sure everything runs smoothly on my end. That way the birds are safely loaded.
Yeah.
Send them away because that's our livelihood.
Right.
And,
yeah, that's the work. I mean, look, that's what it is. I mean, people love it. I mean,
yeah.
I think people do anyway. Has the turkey market, have people been buying less turkey over time? What's going on with turkey?
So turkey's like an influx. So you'll get 2 years of like markets up, then it'll drops back down, then it'll go back up. And then generally that's because when they go up, Butterball and these bigger companies will come in and be like, we need to put 100 more houses across here. So they'll flood the market with turkey. Then they'll sit there because we don't freeze our birds. Our goes out fresh.
Like, what do you mean? They say we need to, like, what do you mean that they're adjusting the market? When they need to put more houses, what do you mean?
So they'll see the market value, turkey value go up. And then
what does it get to? $2 a pound?
Yeah, like breast meat might be 4 something, 5 something a pound.
Boy.
They really throw or then it'll be as low as $1 when it crashed because they'll have a lot of birds frozen. Those bigger companies hold that stuff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we really specialize, not only in just turkey growth. We were the first ones doing antibiotic and organic turkeys. We have 2 different divisions, and we're considerably a small company compared to Cargill or Pilgrim's Pride or
Tyson.
Tyson's huge, and
Yeah.
Butterball is the biggest turkey company probably in the world. I mean,
Yeah, I used to watch that. Yeah, I know. I've had some Butterball before. I'm sure.
They're
I don't know if I liked it or not. I don't remember. Now, what about this guy? Is a question right here. This Italian guy.
all right.
What's up, Theo? What's up, turkey farmer? Got a question, man. What's up with the free range and the natural and the
That's a good question.
organic and the regular? Is that just a farce? Is it the real deal? What are you buying at the stores? Thanks.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a great question, man. Yeah, what is it? How do they divide that up? What do you guys have to do? Do you guys have to?
So if it's like the other farms are more like the organic farms or antibiotic free, it's heavily regulated. So you got a lot more paperwork, and actually, like to be an organic turkey, it has to come for organic female. So the closest organic female to us, I believe, is in Pennsylvania. So we have contract farms in PA that grows that particular bird.
Okay, so a lot of what goes in. I heard this. I have a friend that works for like a meat company.
Yeah.
Called Cow or something, I think. And but it's KOW, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me some fancy meat one time, and it's good, but it's still expensive. But he was saying that what determines grass fed, it's just it's certain like really regulations. It doesn't even really have to do sometimes with what they're eating. It's just sometimes where they live at, things like that. So what's that like for you guys? So you have the different
levels. So like AU or whatever they call it's antibiotic free. The only difference in between that is if, say, a bird gets like a common cold or something, you wouldn't be able to treat it with like Arpen or penicillin for like 1 or 2 days. And everything's done very properly with a vet. We have a vet that checks the bird. It's just a crazy industry, but they make sure they've really went and stepped, from what it used to be to now. It's by the book. Everything's clean and done professionally. But
so was it used to be just the damn dark art?
From what I hear back in, we've been doing it since '89, and it's been fairly consistent all the way up. It's just more regulations, and we're wanting to stay on top of everything.
Yeah.
But for like a free range bird, so all they'll do is they'll take my barn, build doors, and then the doors will open, and then they can go out in a fenced in area.
Okay.
Sometimes they don't even go out. Like my buddy grows free range.
Angola.
They free range chickens. Same thing. He spent all this money. They leave the doors open. The birds are inside where it's nice and safe.
Anyway,
if it's sunny, they might come out for a little bit, check up, and then they see a hawk or something, they'll hightail it back in.
Yeah, maybe Andy Dufresne sneaks out at night, or one of them.
Or one of them government geese dropped a turd down there and puts them all out.
Damn. I'm just saying, you'd think there'd be a lot more of that Madagascar type activity,
Yeah.
Somebody trying to really throw a dirty spider in Charlotte's Web out there, but okay, so what are the different varieties of turkey that's for sale on the market?
You're just going to have the antibiotic free, you're going to have an organic bird, a free range bird, and then what they call a cage free bird, which no bird is caged up in a little cage. That's just a fake narrative that people create to try to give people bad name, farmers.
Sure.
So,
and no bird is completely cage free either. Like, you got to have some sort of way to keep the bird, or it could leave, right? Can turkeys leave?
Well, I mean, I've had it where they're smart enough to turn the doorknob and whack it open with their wing and actually try to make a jailbreak every once in a while.
Oh yeah, man.
But that's far and few between. The turkeys are in a wide open barn. You're looking at one barn's 40,000 square feet.
Dang.
Per barn. So.
Okay. So you guys get out there, you got all the turkeys, they come in and they go out. And so around Thanksgiving, is there an extra batch? Do you double up on your batches, starting in October or something? Or, what'd you say? It's not 19 weeks?
19 weeks. So that's for a heavy tom. And if it's going for when we're doing turkeys for Thanksgiving, they're probably putting them in. They're taking them out at half that. So they're probably going out around 13 to 15 weeks. They're a medium-sized bird.
Okay. And that's the one that most people buy for Thanksgiving?
Yes, that's what they're going to buy for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And they'll put these specialty birds just for that, and they're medium toms is what they'll call them.
Damn.
Yeah.
And how'd they get the name Tom?
It's genetically, I guess that's what you call, a tom and a hen. And we'll have hens in there occasionally because they'll sex them, but they don't always get them right. So you have big old hens mixed in there with the toms.
Is there trans turkeys? Do you start to see that even in the turkey?
They don't really identify other than tom and hen, and maybe you'll find a dominant. I found hens with beards on them, so maybe they're transitioning.
Oh, I found some of them too around town. I've definitely. One of my buddies had a real issue with them. But he's doing good now. He's doing pretty good anyway. He's on a ranch right now in Montana. But the holidays are the most wonderful time of the year. It's a good time to hug somebody and to tickle somebody you don't even know that well if you want, legally, and in a safe area. With more people shopping online every year, you got to ship stuff, man. You got to get things out of your possession and into somebody else's possession. Even Santa, I heard a rumor, he's not even going to some countries anymore because of the crime and stuff, and he's just going to ship stuff there. He's going to use ShipStation. ShipStation works with all major carriers, international and local, including FedEx, USPS, and UPS. So not only is shipping easy, you can actually save money. Now that's something. No wonder 98% of companies that use ShipStation for a year keep using it for as long as they're in business. It's that good. Use my code Theo to get a 60-day free trial, just enough time to handle the holiday rush. Just go to ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top, and enter code THEO. ShipStation, make ship happen. Is there something interfering with your happiness? Is there? Is there something interfering with your happiness? And that's a question you have to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself, is there something interfering with my happiness? Because when you get an answer, if you really make an honest answer, then it's a good place to start from to think about stuff. And sometimes you can't think about things alone. Sometimes you need help. And I've gotten help from this company, BetterHelp. I've gotten it over Zoom, over phone, and over SkyPay, Skype. Visit BetterHelp.com/THEO. That's BETTERHELP, and join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. Don't go it alone. Try something different. Try something new. BetterHelp might work for you. BetterHelp.com/Theo. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and TPW listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/THEO. It may be an option for you. What's like the future of the turkey business? So, well, let me think what I want to ask right now. So you got these different types. You got the males. So can I eat a male turkey or a female turkey at Thanksgiving? Can I have either one?
Yeah, potentially it might be either or.
So I don't have any idea.
You won't know. Yeah.
Wow.
Now,
do my mom know if it comes in the kitchen and she's in there doing it?
Yeah, you would never know.
Really?
Yeah. Because so we sell turkey fries. And that's turkey nuts. So they have glands, and their nuts are actually in their wings.
No way.
Yeah. So they'll pop them things out, and you fry them up and eat them up.
They good or bad?
They're good. They're really good. Yeah. I mean,
do they bust a little, or they just kind of?
No, they just fry them up. It's just like eating a
like a what?
This is like a nugget, like a chicken nugget. You get McDonald's?
Okay.
You good? You eat nuggets?
Is this them right here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good, man. We've served them at numerous meetings where congressmen and senators and stuff go to the Turkey Federation meeting. We used to have them there. I mean, I just ate elk nuts like a week ago because we went out elk hunting, and our guide fixed up a nice Rocky Mountain elk Parmigiana.
Well, I think, look, Joe Rogan can apparently eat his own penis, I read the other day on the internet. So I think at this point, everything's fair. Everything's fair game.
Yeah.
Dude, if I was starving, I'd eat one of my nuts right out of my damn body, I think, because it feels like you'd have.
You heal up good.
Yeah, I'd have one. I'm not having both of them. Like some creep, damn. But,
weird.
Okay, so why does turkey look so ugly, though? And does that offend you if I say that?
Nah, I mean they are kind of like my babies, but nah.
Yeah.
No,
I don't mean it like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, is there to me? Because I actually went jogging this morning, and I go jogging on this around this lake, and there's a lot of turkeys out there. Not this time of year, actually, but usually there's a lot of turkeys out there, and they're just big, and they're just not the most attractive, Yeah,
they're not a peacock, but
right,
they
that's what it is.
I don't know. They're pretty majestic for the most part. It's probably just beauties in the eye of the beholder for the most part. Yeah. Some people love turkeys, love the way they look. A lot of my buddies are turkey hunters, so they're all about getting every species of turkey hunted and mounted and displayed as wall art for their memory of that hunt. But, and they like eating them too. They're delicious. I don't know. You kind of figure they probably were at some point some type of raptor. If you go back to dinosaurs.
Maybe they've just devolved, huh?
Yeah, they grew a little fur, got a little smaller claws, but they still try to cut you.
Yeah.
If they get a chance.
How sharp is that talon? How could that thing get you or not?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've had them where they cut through my pants. I sent some pictures over where they've gotten me in the leg, in the back. I mean, they're with our turkeys, we don't have spurs. Okay. So they'll have those at the hatchery. They'll have them nip. That's so we really don't get messed up. But their front claws, when they jump up, they're jumping up with their feet to latch on.
Okay.
And you can see that. Yeah. See, that's a scar from there. Look, I got some Cam Hayes boots that saved my toes, but.
Oh yeah.
He didn't.
But the rest of you need that full Cam Hayes.
Yeah, I know. He needs to come out with some leggings or something for me.
Yeah, he does, dude. Dang.
Some yoga pants or something.
So that's one turkey talon did that to you, huh? Now, what does their talons look like? What does their leg? What does that leg look like? Let's see their leg.
So go to the foot. Just
Okay.
The one that's spread out. You see, they got these toenails, and that's what cut me. One of those toenails.
Oh wow! So they have.
So they have a spur. Ours are docked, so they won't have that long spur like on a wild turkey. It'll be there, but it'll be nubbed off.
Because they cut them off.
Yeah, so you don't want that in there.
Because they'll kill each
They'll
other.
be murdering like all sorts. Wow. I wouldn't even go through there at that point if they were like that. But now those claws, and like I said, you'll see turkeys. You got videos of turkeys fighting out in the wilderness. Same thing, just bigger bird. They're going to jump up at you. They'll try to get you I've had them peck me in the forehead, working on feed line, getting motors put back on. They can.
And do they seem manipulative? What do turkeys seem like as a?
Very nice at first.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, what's up? You can be sitting there, and they'll kind of come up, and you can pat them on the head, and then just next thing you know, they turn around, run around, and say, yo, John, look at this, and then they'll fucking hammer you.
No.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's if you can work in twos. A lot of times, like I said, I've been doing this so long by myself. Some of these repairs, and I mean, they'll peck motor lines, everything. Where I have to go in and replace electrical. They'll break water lines down where they'll rip the line, tear the water up, and I got to get in there before it floods the barn. I mean, they can be destructive. But.
Does it seem calculated though? Does it seem like they have? It does.
Yeah. So we take every measure when we go through. We're tying up lines, making sure. If there's a will, there's a way. A turkey will definitely fuck something up.
But does their will seem to be that they want to create anarchy? Does it seem that they want to escape? Like what they want to?
No, you can literally leave the door open. They won't go nowhere.
Oh, I see.
They'll just chill out, maybe poke their head out. They're just kind of like, "What's up?" But I think it's more like you're kind of like fresh meat in prison style. You walk in there, they're like, "I'm gonna get you, boy."
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And now this is after like 17, 18 weeks. They're coming at you.
Yeah.
They're
sure.
They got their testosterone up. They don't know hormones going. They're getting crazy.
So their testosterone raises while they're in there?
Yeah. So they're a baby bird, and then they become essentially a teenager. So they got that teenager. And now they grow other birds for breeding purposes where they'll get real big, 75, 80 pounds. There'll be less birds in there. And I've never been to a farm like that. I've seen them. And they say that once they get over that 19, 20 week range, like 22 weeks, their testosterone goes back down, and then they like mellow back out.
Oof. But you're riding right around that 19 week.
You got a good 4 weeks of, battling, just trying to get through there, make sure everybody's good, not getting yourself tore up.
So it gets a little hitmanish in that last month.
Yeah. So I mean, I've had a guy, one of my buddies, Mark, straight got drilled in the nuts. I was watching him crawl out of the barn. Like it took him out. And you're talking about force of a 40-pound bird, and it just nut tagged him perfect. He was laying on the ground. He was trying to get the dirt. Birds are jumping on. Yeah, you kind of always get a fear like something happened. You get crippled in there. They probably just kill you.
What's a great question we got coming up right here about how many birds?
Yo, what up, Theo? What up, Turkey Farmer? It's Alex here, Fenton, Michigan. Just really got a couple quick ones for you. Do the turkeys have large talons? And if they do, or if they don't, how many do you think it would take to take one of you down? Gang, gang.
Gang, baby. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many turkeys does it take, really, to take out a Robert Hutman, man?
I don't know, probably 10,000 or so.
Really?
I mean, unless I stroke out or something in there, they might get me. But,
But it looked like the damage that one could cause is pretty extensive.
Yeah. No, they, I guess it's just all in the right way they get you. Anybody can get knocked out by anybody for the most part. So, I could be leaning over and one whack me in the noggin. And if you go out in there, they're going to get you on the ground.
So they're more, so
they might go around and they're just curious. So they peck.
Right.
You might say you stroke out, fall down, they peck you. I'd imagine if no one found you for a few hours, probably wouldn't be good.
Right.
Straight up.
Damn. So you running with some it's a really.
But same as these cat ladies and shit that die with
Oh,
15
that shit's
cats and
crazy.
get eaten up sitting in a chair.
Dude, we had a lady in my neighborhood growing up. They had a panther in her. She had a panther living in her place. Everybody always thought she was crazy. Always yelling about this cat outside, and people were like, "Get back in your house," you know. And she had a fucking bobcat or panther or something that had been living in her house, and she's been in there living with it for years, man. And everybody's just like, "You're crazy, Miss Dorothy," you know. Go back inside. And somebody had threw a surprise party by our house or something, and somebody jumped out and yelled surprise, and that damn cat fucking almost killed the guy.
Damn. Serious shit.
I mean, it's just you don't know really what's going on, I think, inside of some of these animals. That's really the tricky part for me.
Yeah.
Is there a time where you get a real big one and then you're like, oh, I got to pull this one out because this one I got to use for breeding. This one goes somewhere else. Does that ever happen, or at this point you know exactly what you're getting?
No, we're getting into the perfect genetics for the birds to create, solid breast meat. We're really going for a heavier bird for breast and thigh, so we can feed America. We're trying to get back, and that's why we're always revolving and just constant birds year round. So,
how has the meat? Damn, that's you right there.
yeah,
Damn.
so that's
dude.
when they're that's
your first wife.
Yeah,
This is damn beautiful.
She's pretty good.
I know.
That's actually when they're going out. So that's a good picture. See, the feed line's raised, everything's there, the lights are on. It's nighttime. That's one of the heavier birds that he probably weighed close to, 46, 47 pounds.
And this is only a middle tom, right?
No, this is a heavy tom.
This is heavy tom.
That's big boys there.
Wow.
See, they got little beards, whatnot.
Dude, they're kind of beautiful. I guess I have not seen pictures like this.
Yeah, they're nice, pretty white birds and really clean. Like I said, that's why we do litter quality. We're in there tilling, day-to-day operation. Every week we go in there with a tractor and a tiller to make sure the shavings get brought back to the top. Everything stays nice for their feet. Because if you got poor litter quality and poor life, these birds won't look like that. They'll be really run down. They'll have burned pads on their feet from the turkey crap. It'll burn their feet. So that's why we make sure everything's nice and clean.
So they're a real sensitive animal, huh?
They can be, yeah.
It's interesting how
They're tough, and I don't know. Turkeys are smart and dumb all at the same time. I guess just like me.
Yeah, me too, dude. Damn, I didn't know it was possible, and then here we are. What's something that I wouldn't expect about a turkey, man? What's something that's really unique about them compared to maybe any other animal? Is there something that really stands out about them? Because they definitely look really different. They kind of seem like a peacock that's been,
essentially a peacock is a turkey, just a different. They're very, very similar. They'll get hooks too. They'll get spurs. They just got a weirder call than a turkey does, and then I don't know their characteristics. I mean, they're pretty much a noble animal. They stick together. I don't know. Just I've been around them for so long. Take mine. I was raised up in it. 89. I was like 5 years old when my parents started it.
So your parents started this business?
Yeah. Okay. My mom and dad did it. Mom worked at the bank. Dad worked down the road driving heavy equipment for a company down in Northern Virginia. And he would commute like 2 hours back and forth. And we just needed to figure out a better way to bring some money in for the farm, because the farm I actually live on, Hazard Mill Farms, it's been in the family since, continuously since the late 1700s. Damn. And then we've been operating. My great-great-grandfather bought it in 1888 from another family member, and he bought a bunch of these tracts up, and he owned both sides of the river. Now my other family owns the other side. We got this side right on the Shenandoah River.
And has it always been turkeys for both sides, or
No. We my parents were so I guess I'd be a second generation turkey part. But I mean, we did beef cattle. My great grandfather would forage the river and bring cattle over there. They did tomatoes for the cannon factory. He was a big time farmer. Granted, we were poor and lived off the land, but I'm looking at some prime real estate that I just happened to put into conservation easements. I ain't got to worry about no development. Nice. It's all bordered by national forests. So.
Right on the river?
Yeah, right on the river.
Oh, wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So so you guys, at what point did you guys get out of cropping and just get into turkeys?
So we were just on beef cattle. My dad started back bringing beef back on. He married into my mom's side, and it's my mom, my grandmother, my aunt that owned that property. And, he started it, and then they decided, said, you can grow, like I was telling you, instead of having to have 200 head of cattle, you can make the same money with 2 turkey barns that take up 14 acres.
Wow.
So we're able to preserve the land to the way we want, because we're more mountain land. It's all up on Macedon Mountain. Got some fields out there. We do hay and pasture. But other than that, we couldn't run the 200 head of cattle to make enough make a living to justify it. So
right. Well, this is just more economical, makes more sense for you.
yeah, it's still, to start a new barn, start to finish right now, if you're probably looking at $1.5 million per barn.
Really?
Start to finish. And then you're not going to turn a profit until, I think they're saying, depending when that barn gets built, 13 months to 16 months by the time your first flock and you're turning over some money.
So say you sell a flock, right? The market's at a decent price.
Yeah.
How I mean, can you make a decent living? I mean, I used to work on a farm. I worked on a soybean, corn, and cotton farm in college, at the end of college, or at the end of high school and beginning of college. And I didn't own anything, but I saw basically kind of how the living was, and like how when there was a bad crop, there was some subsidization by the government and stuff like that. So at least you had a little bit of backup because you were providing like something, because you were providing a value to America. You're providing like food or whatever it was, or animal food or whatever. What is it like for you guys there with the market? Is it what can a turkey farmer make?
I'm pretty small scale compared to the other guys. So like cash flow wise, I'm pulling in, roughly, depending on the flock average, you can make 150, give or take a year. And
wow.
And that's not just on, and granted, I'm still paying electric, some of that cost comes out, but we're kind of like a cooperative. So we do get some dividends and stuff through that. So it's not as bad as if I just grew for a privatized company.
Like you were sharecropping or something.
Yeah, or if I grew for like Butterball or something.
Right.
They'll give you incentives and stuff as well if you do good for your first 2 years. But after that, then there's no other incentive to grow for them, and then you're
already kind of locked in.
You're capped in at what you got, and then you're like, well, do I build a couple more barns and take another chunk of investment out? So
it's $1.5 million to start a new barn.
Roughly,
if you wanted to start one, and that's before you start to make any money to come in. It'll be through after your first flock is done. That's 3-4 months. 5 months maybe.
No, it's first flock. It's like I said, 13 to 14 months. You're built, got your first flock in, and it's out the door. Turn around.
Okay, and how long is that flock coming? You said it's 19 weeks.
19 weeks.
19 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. How much months is that? Almost 5 months.
Yeah.
So you can maybe do 2 flocks in a year, kind of. Is that what you kind of go for?
We go 3 flocks a year.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, because you can overlap some? Or?
Yeah.
Huh. Do you have the idea that you want to do another barn, or you think you're kind of good where you're at?
I'm good where I'm at. I got like I was telling him, I'm moving. I shut down one production side, and I created Hazard Mill Selects. Mm-hmm. So right now we're doing CBD, we're growing hemp in there, and then Virginia just went legal for marijuana. So that's my whole another step. I'm getting ready to try to get one of these permits and go.
Dude, if you came out with that turkey THC, that shit that'll put you to sleep, boy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, dude? Because both those things will put me to sleep. If I have a little bit of turkey, or I have a dang hit on a joint, or hit on a damn
just mellow you right out.
Dab, Hell, if I even kiss some girl that's been smoking dope, I'll fucking go to bed, man. I go to sleep real easy, dude. I'm real. You know what I'm saying? That I don't.
She ain't even gotta rub your belly.
Oh, dude. I see a pillow, son. It's over.
Yeah.
It's time. Why does turkey make people go to sleep?
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with it, but I know it releases some type of endorphin or whatnot. But it's supposed to. It's kind of like a melatonin you get from it.
Do turkeys sleep a lot? Do they have it because it's in them? I guess.
Well, they'll kind of get in that nesting when lights go out for them. They'll get their downtime and they'll kind of rubble up, and that's when they're all together. They kind of just like to stick together, and you'll see them all like wing to wing, just chilling out and nuzzle down. They'll take the fresh shavings, kick it over, and then just kind of snuggle up.
Kind of like lions or something. Like if you see a
pride of
lions out there, yeah. Now, what are turkeys like different in the wild? So, do you turkey hunt also?
Yeah. I'm an avid hunter, fisherman, outdoorsman. So.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same, except for that. They're able to. They're not as heavy, so they'll fly up and roost every night. So they'll do the same thing, but they'll roost in trees together.
Okay. How high can a turkey get up in a tree?
I've seen them up in pine trees 20 to 30 feet.
No way.
Then they'll come off that roost and just glide. I mean, if they're off a canyon or a little cliff style, they'll just glide over and go like 300 or 400 yards, and then just boop, and then they start doing turkey things, start pecking and looking for food and scratching around. I've actually had turkeys come up to my barns and get them riled up where they're gobbling back and forth at each other during springtime. They'll be outside like, "What's up?" And then they just start going back and forth.
And who fights more, the males or female turkeys?
The males.
Yeah.
Yeah. Females, other than if something's trying to get after their babies, they generally, in the wild, they don't.
Right.
Yeah.
What keeps them from mating when they're in y'all's containment over there? when
I
they
think it's
caged
just
out?
because they're not technically a mature bird.
Oh, so they're not even at what age do they start to mate?
Like right when they're getting ready to go out. So they don't really,
So a lot of them are never going to see fatherhood, really.
No, well, they just get their, do their job and, feed America. It's
Dinner time.
Everybody, I mean, it's.
Is there a lot of pushback on the industry?
No, not. I wouldn't say for.
It's such a staple.
See, turkeys, we're not like chicken companies, so we're a little more of a niche market compared to like Purdue for their chickens, because you're not seeing chicken nuggets, you ain't seeing turkey nuggets inside. So the demand's so high for chicken that they have a larger turnaround, and then there's instances where that you see some bad stuff that happens on farm with other workers and stuff like that. But
how did y'all lose that battle? Was there like a battle where it was like chicken or turkey was going to be the thing?
I don't know, man. They've been growing turkeys since like the 50s and 60s in the Shenandoah Valley where I'm from, and I don't think it was ever. I guess it was something back in the day, because I guess turkeys got stapled as the Thanksgiving niche, and then you think, I'm gonna eat turkey once a year, maybe Christmas,
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, I'll eat my turkey and then just eat chicken the rest of the time.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we kind of got ourselves put into the first Thanksgiving, put us there. Yeah. People get tired. They eat that big meal. You get tired, and you're like, I'm good on turkey for a while. And
yeah, maybe that's part of it too. Maybe turkey has that thing where it's like, I'm a
holiday vibe.
Yeah. I think it's true. It's like it's been romanticized kind of in culture as, like a holiday meat.
Special.
Yeah, it's a fancy thing. You would see rich people like at a thing, and they got a big plaque or something they're eating off of, and they're all, somebody's rich and the kid's on pills or whatever, but he's still having turkey. It's always, like the Norman Rockwell or something. You'd see those pictures, and I think it makes you
have
feel
a full turkey, a full-size pig with an apple stuck in it.
Yeah.
King's table, a king's log.
Yeah. Yeah, you would see that. You're like, oh, man, this is a fancy
big
time.
old turkey leg.
Oh, yeah, somebody. Here's a question that came in right here from Christopher right here. Let's get to it.
Hey, Theo, Mr. Turkey Farmer. This is Chris from down in Sydney, Australia. Rise up, lights! Rise up, lights! I was just wondering, I'm a big fan of turkey. I think it's a great meat. It's nourishing. It's lean.
Amen.
And I just wondered why you don't see it on more fast food chains, like at McDonald's or KFC. Because, I'd love to have a McGobble Gobble. No homo.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my question.
No
just
homo,
why
bro.
don't you see turkey on more fast food menus? Because it's a great meat.
Yeah.
It is.
Gang.
Gang, baby. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
And Rise Up Lights, if you say Rise Up Lights
Rise up lights.
a couple times, it sounds like razor blades in Australian.
Okay.
Rise Up Lights.
You just taught me something new.
Yeah, try it. It's good.
Rise up lights.
Rise Up Lights.
Rise up lights.
Yeah, it sounds like razor blades.
Razor.
So anyway, just good icebreaker. Good, keep the wife warm with that one. But that's a great question. Yeah, how does it? Why isn't it? Do you think it's headed that way? Well, first start. Why isn't it? Why isn't turkey more that thing? Now you do see it at like a Jimmy John's. You do see it
Arby's.
at a Subway's. You see it at Arby's.
So you're seeing like a lot of them. It's going to be like the sliced turkey. So that's something that we would probably sell like a product where they're getting that breast meat to the masses. I'd love to see like a turkey tender instead of a chicken tender. I just think the market for it to be sustainable like that, the reason you haven't seen the turkeys go hard, it's just really just we don't have that type of that many farmers out there to actually be able to consistently sustain that demand at the moment. So it's kind of like we go all in, and then say you guys don't end up wanting to, turkey nuggets or whatnot, and then you got like a lot of farmers don't invest it, $2-3 million in this stuff, and then they're out on the streets again.
You almost need a different hype, man. You need like a big PR thing to be like turkey is that thing. It's like
because you see us at Panera Bread. That's another big comp.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I hadn't really thought like it's only turkey is often sliced, or you'll see it at like a Boston market or something like that. Sometime a place where they do more of a meal. I think it's regarded as more of a meal and not as much of I don't want to say like a cheap eat, but because I love turkey burgers. Turkey burgers is something that I love.
It's delicious.
It's great, man. So, and maybe some of it's growing over time. Do you know if the market is growing over time?
It has compared. I mean, you're going from when my parents started in '89. I know they've had some attempts niche markets where they pushing it, but now since people are more wanting to know what they put in their body, like he was saying, people want that lean protein from that turkey, and it's different than chicken.
Yeah,
I think it's, if not better. I mean, you barbecue up a couple chicken tenders and slice that breast up just right. I mean, it's good on the grill, good anywhere, man.
Fucking looks good, man.
Yeah.
God damn, it looks good.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it right now, dude.
If I had it, I'd cook it for you.
Fuck, man.
I'll have to get
every
you
time
one.
people see you, they just want some damn turkey. They're like, damn, what are you doing here? Give me some damn turkey.
It's like, hey, man, can I get another slice? I said, no problem. They just want
like you should just have it in your coat like a little hit man.
You want some breast?
You
want that thigh?
Yeah, dude. I'd probably take a little thigh, man. I think,
Yeah.
Is there a part of the turkey that's being used for something new and novel that we don't know about, or like a new? Like, is there a part that
They sell everything from our turkeys to everything.
Yeah.
The feathers will go. They've even shipped stuff to South Korea, stuff like that. The guts, the inwards, stuff like that. I don't know what they use them for, but they've found a really good market where they can, be very useful and use pretty much all the birds, the feet,
Huh.
So there's a niche for just about anything in the world. Somebody's going to eat it, like we were just talking about turkey fries. You wouldn't think that would be a niche, but we sell a pile of turkey fries.
And what is? Oh, a turkey fry is the nut.
Nuts, yeah. Turkey nuts.
Damn. You haven't had that. 2 out of 3 men, 2/3 of men will experience some form of hair loss. Oh, the other day I saw a guy watching a scary movie and his damn mustache fell right off. Right onto the damn remote. Dear God. Well, Keeps offers a simple, stress-free way to keep your hair. Convenient virtual doctor consultations and medications delivered straight to your door every 3 months. You don't have to leave your home. Low-cost treatments start at just $10 per month, and Keeps offers generic versions. If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/Theo to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's KEEPS.com/THEO. Get your first month free. It's a great gift for someone. If they're struggling with hair loss or they're worried, or if you are, treat yourself. Keeps.com/Theo. My favorite pair of sweats have become my dang favorite pair of business attire. These days, with the world where it is, people are doing business from a damn bunker in their backyard. You see a dude doing damn business, and he's on a damn and he's doing Kegels and chest exercises with his buddies in the park. Times have changed. Yup, it's ridiculous that I got to change if I'm running for a coffee or if I'm running for an actual run. It shouldn't be that way. That's why you got to check out Public Rec. They make elevated athleisure wear. Hey. In multi-dimensional sizes, jeeps. Because they believe that comfort starts with a better fit. Their best-selling all-day, everyday pant is available in over 40 different sizing combinations and can fit men anywhere from 5'8" to nearly 7 feet tall. Dang, that's drastic measures. Dang. They come in 9 different colors, one for each day of the week, and you could do 2 weekends if something happened to the week of the second week. Public Rec also makes elevated shorts, t-shirts, polos, jackets, even golf gear. They've got it all. Public Rec rarely discounts, but right now they have an exclusive offer just for TPW listeners. Go to publicrec.com and use promo code Theo to receive 10% off. That's publicrec.com and use promo code Theo for 10% off. Public Rec yourself. What else we got over there? Spence, anything else come in? Here's a question right here from a white guy.
What up, Theo? It's Carl out here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Shout out Nick. I have a quick question for your turkey farmer. What does he eat on Thanksgiving? Because for me, if I was processing all those birds and getting ready for this Thanksgiving rush, I'd be so over it. I'd be like, no, we're going to get some steaks. We're going to get some ham or something else. So what does he do? And then if he is turkey, then what's his favorite side? Because obviously the Birdman's going to know the best side to go with some turkey. So I'm looking for some suggestions. Appreciate you. Gang, gang.
That Birdman, yeah. What's the choice from the captain himself? What is it?
You know, I always joke around with the guys with the company. We eat one of our turkeys every year. So, like, just before I come here, one of my guys from the company, we kill our own birds, and then we keep our turkey birds, and we give everybody in the company a free turkey.
Okay.
But with that being said, I mean, I've been lobbying to get some ham, maybe partner up with a pig company or exchange or something.
Yeah, do y'all do? Is there any dark you sneaking over there at night across the freaking pig pen or what? Is there any?
No, it's none of that.
But do you choose? So for Thanksgiving, you guys have turkey.
Yes, I mean, I cook a lot. I'm, borderline chef. Wife's a chef, but I do a nice infrared, so I don't deep fry it, but I put them in that infrared, and it gets that crispiness just like a deep fried bird without all that oil.
Really?
Man,
is that the new thing?
It's delicious, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I grew up on that turducken, man, and even
turducken's
we
good
had
too.
damn Turditos. I remember it's like a turkey and a duck, and then they fill it with Cheetos. I remember.
Shit.
And I'm like, what is this shit? You know what I'm saying? They had damn everything.
Spicy
out
Cheetos
there.
or regular Cheetos?
I think
hots?
I couldn't tell. I think it was regular.
Okay.
Yeah, because nobody in our area ate those jalapeno Cheetos.
Yeah.
It was more they didn't even have the hot ones at that point. It was just they were still doing the regular Cheeto, you know.
Something to try.
But that third item now, did that turducken? Did that ever hit you? Do you guys have to do that?
No. I've bought a turducken.
You believe in all that?
It's okay. It's just a lot going on. You got the turkey and chicken and all that stuffed in there. Sometimes I've seen them stuff a quail in that thing.
Yeah. Or I've seen Turala Geep or whatever it is. Turala Geep. It's turkey, alligator, and then sheep meat in it.
Ooh. Yeah,
And I'm like, what? At some point, people are just this is a damn gangbang, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a little too much. I feel like if you get all those meats and just cook them primarily alone, and you can still do your own mix.
Yeah, you could just mix it on your plate. Like, why do you have to? I feel like
it robs flavor from one or the other. It's a lot of trial and error there. Now I like my turkey. I like to do it, in that infrared deep fryer style, oilless fryer, whatever you want to call it.
Is it good? I've never had that. That sauna. It's almost like a sauna, huh?
So it's propane, and then it's like one of those smokeless fire pits. So none of the smoke comes up, and it's like a tube, and you drop the turkey in just like a fryer. And the heat just goes around it, and they crisp it up just perfect.
Oh, damn,
yeah,
boy.
Man.
Like that thing's in Barbados or something.
I like to inject it with some marinades, get it juicy.
Do you guys also, have you ever thought of getting into that market, or that's not really your market to get into like a marinade? It's because I guess you don't have that storefront.
I right now do not have the storefront. Eventually, Hazardville Farms itself, we're planning to put in probably some grapes, do a winery. I wanted to infuse some CBD into my wine. Tasting room. I got an events barn down there on the river. We've been doing some events, and weddings and stuff. So
yeah, I'm curious. You sound like do you feel like you wanted to be a turkey farmer? Do you feel like you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Like, where do you kind of feel like some of your sense to be a businessman came from?
Just being able to diversify, and my major push is to save small farms, be creative, and then give back. So entrepreneurship was all on me. Sitting around, I want to be creative so my daughter doesn't have to sell the property. Or I think the death of small farms is really where the mom and dad starts to farm. we can't afford to live off them. We go get a job, then we end up getting our own career. So they just never really come back to the farm until mom and dad dies, and then boom, they're selling it.
And then they're selling it because their interest is gone.
So
Yeah, it's interesting how we do that, huh?
yeah, so I'm here to, that's why I came to chat. I mean, I'm on 6th District is the congressional district I'm in. I'm on the Ag Advisory Committee for Congressman Klein.
Okay.
And
that's in Virginia?
Yeah, that's in Virginia. So really bad props to Ben Klein, good friend of mine. He really wants to know what's every niche. He wants to know what's good for dairy for his district, what's good for poultry. He doesn't know much about it because he was an attorney, Commonwealth attorney, and then got the congressional spot there a few years back. So I mean, I give him mad props. He's going out trying to find us like-minded farmers to meet and then help him out. What do we need? How we can do better, and how can we save these farms and keep us rocking?
Wow. And what's the biggest threat to the small farms?
Subdivisions and development.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess so. Now you said that you had that conservatorship now, a conservatorship?
I got a conservation easement with VCC, Virginia Council, out of Stanton, Virginia.
So your land will be safe now, so they can't develop within
So
that.
even if it's sold, they would have to buy that thing in a large tract, and there's no commercial nor housing can be developed there. If anything did happen. But.
Yeah, it's interesting because I had on a guy who does small game. He does, like, if you got something in your house that's not your wife or kid, and but it's trying to, be alive. You know what I'm saying? That mid-sized animal control man.
Yeah.
This fella. And he said that a lot of times you find raccoons in your house, you find this, and he goes, it's because he's like, they don't know it's your house, dude. They're not like robbers or burglars or, like they're not like the wet bandits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they think it's a tree. Like their trees have all been torn down and shit. So they're just climbing into whatever seems like it's close to that. So it's interesting when we start to really give up our nature. I think a lot of it goes to we get so stuck inside of ourselves. Like I was going for a jog this morning. It's beautiful out there, man. And that's the place where I seen the wild turkeys. They just have them out there, and like you see them gobbling, and sometimes there'll be a little crew of them. Pretty cool just to run right. I mean, you're probably 15, 20 feet, and sometimes they run off. Sometimes they be a little curious, but so it's like, sometimes I'm so in my head the whole time I'm running, I'm barely even seeing that I'm in like a damn beautiful place, I mean, it's stunning. So I'm missing all of the nature. I think a lot of that kind of stuff happens because we don't even value it anymore. We don't even see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a long diatribe for me. But so one of the biggest problems is people coming along and just building stuff.
Yeah. So like I said, as soon as that family lose interest, and you can't blame the kid that went out and started a nice career somewhere else. I get it, but if we're able to diversify, agritourism's huge for us right now. That's kind of what I'm doing with I want to do the grapes, the wine, CBD, eventually cannabis. I just want to be able to have a good living. The wedding venue and events venue that I'm doing right now, it's been a big hit. Done a lot of charity work this past year with it. So it's give back to the community why we, try to preserve this, beautiful piece of tract of land I got. And, just that whole valley. I'm very fortunate, not only my property, I mean, we have a whole corridor on that river that's all under conservation easement now.
On the Shenandoah Valley, can you bring that up, please?
Yeah, South Fork of the Shenandoah River.
And I think it's interesting that, because it is interesting if you're doing events. And when I saw those pictures of when you showed me the picture of you in there with those white birds,
yeah.
It's funny. It really changed a lot of my perception of what I was even talking about. Because I just don't have any idea. A lot of people you just have no idea.
Yeah, you don't know the market. It's not a very
you've never seen anything.
Yeah, that's me right there, Shenandoah River.
Oh, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, we got the that's a view from Andy Getz. Go down a little bit. That right there, Shenandoah State Park. That's to
in the middle.
Yeah. So that's a view back going toward my mountain.
Okay.
That's my family across the river. My great uncle put that and sold that to the state park to save it from being developed.
Wow.
So it's Andy Getz State Park. It's really, I mean, I'm not trying to be biased, but I think we have probably the prettiest stretch of river in the whole valley. But it goes all the way up to Page and Luray, and it'll run all the way to Harper's Ferry.
All the way up to in Tennessee?
West Virginia, Harper's Ferry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it flows north, so it'll go all the way down and dump into the Potomac. So Front Royal, they'll run in. That's our town we live in. North and south meet. And then that Shenandoah River becomes one, the John Denver stuff. And then you'll go on down and it'll join in Harper's Ferry and dump into the Potomac.
Wow, we did a show a couple weeks ago along the Potomac. I never knew what it was. I mean, I knew about it.
Yeah.
But it's it's just funny. We just, I mean, I don't know. And I don't say we, but I need to see more nature so that it becomes more of my common understanding.
Anytime you want to come out, I'll take you fishing. I see you caught smallmouth there a while back. So.
Oh yeah, dude, barely caught it. Jesus.
You got it in, man.
But it was pretty cool. We were catching
the minnows.
Minnows, yeah. Literally out of we had one of those nets. You throw it, you know.
Casting net.
Dude, it was so cool. I'd never done it.
Yeah.
So then you get it on the thing, and then you put it in this other thing, in this other area where the water is, and then next thing you know, you get dude, they were like
hammering it.
But after about 31 minutes, they quit. I think that word got out.
Yeah, you got so many in one hole, gigs get up. But anytime you come on out to the river, man, we'll take you up.
What's a city that's near you guys?
So Front Royal, Luray, that's kind of rural. Front Royal, where the gateway is Skyline Drive, and that's the start. And Skyline Drive will go all the way down to Stanton, and it turns into the Blue Ridge Parkway. It goes to North Carolina.
Okay.
But Winchester, I know you probably heard of Winchester.
Winchester, Virginia?
Yeah.
No.
So that's the next one up, and then we're only like 70 miles from D.C.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't mind coming to check out the turkey farm. Maybe on a tour whenever we do D.C., we could set it up. Because we just went to Richmond, but I'm sure we'll go somewhere else. But yeah, it's just funny, man. Until I saw that picture of you with those, I'm like, I didn't even know they looked like this. I don't have a real perception of something. What's another question that came in here for Robert Spence?
Oh shoot, gotta turn that around. What up, Theo? What up, Turkey Killer? I know Theo, he believes in it, and certain people like to debate it. But I want to know if there's ever been a turkey with that DS.
Down
you ever
syndrome.
seen one with one eye open or cross-eyed or whatever? Curious to see if you ever seen one, and do those kind of get kicked out from the rest of the group as far as what gets put on Thanksgiving dinner table or what? Let me know. All right, gang, turkey hitter.
Gang, baby. Yeah, do turkeys get diseases like humans? Do they get Down syndrome?
They'll have some modified genetics every once in a while, like a crooked foot or just like a droopy neck, or it's not so much like I would call it like Down syndrome. I just think it's we're born with some type of disability, and usually they get culled out. Just
that's nature.
Yeah, man. You either you don't want that bird to suffer, and it's like I said, depending on the bird. Like the one guy asked if we ever kind of keep them. I do have like a holding pen to help birds heal back up, and if they can make it, they can. That way they're not in general population.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Totally.
get them out of gin, put them in that solitaire. But but now we're just trying to run a healthy, successful business, hopefully. But yeah, they just get cold, man. Sometimes it's a dog eat world out there. Yeah,
it's funny how we romanticize nature as if it's gonna do this beautiful thing for itself.
No.
That once we become involved, that like, oh well, of course sometimes we're using animals for food, of course, but also it's like, like a raccoon will kill its children. A man raccoon will kill a female raccoon's children just so she'll go back in the heat so we can have sex.
Same with the bear.
I mean, that's some some
brutal.
Lester Holt shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, dude? That's dark arts.
Yeah, so, being ethical and properly euthanizing them on the spot, you got to make that call and not even second guess. I mean, Cam talks the same stuff about how cruel the hunting, the nature is compared to hunting, and it's true. I mean, you're able to arrow that animal, or shoot that animal at a good ethical shot, and you're able to harvest that meat with minimum damage. Where you can watch a wildebeest or whatever out there getting eaten by a lion while he's just sitting there with a broken back hollering. Same with the bears, and it's just.
Yeah, they're not doing it ethically. It's not like they're inviting them to a damn Holiday Inn or something.
They eat them while they're still alive. So it's like, man, come on.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
That whole world is interesting. We had the guy Jimmy John, John Leotow, who created the Jimmy John's company, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking a little bit. He's a big game hunter, and but what some people don't know is that you pay sometimes exorbitant fees to go hunt like a specific animal, and then the fee will pay for like we'll pay for like local school. I mean, especially like when you're in Africa, some of these other countries, like you're paying for like you're going to really keep that economy alive.
And it provides that food for that community. I mean,
there's tons of things that go into that. Yeah, that's true. The food too.
Yeah, conservation's key because they have those villagers come and actually. I have a friend that's South African, and his family had a hunting preserve. He moved to my town, but same thing, man. They're there to feed the village, and they got like 100 little. They watch out for poachers. They'll notify the.
Oh yeah.
They're there to snitch on these awful people that are poachers, and 'cause that's their livelihood.
Yeah,
that's their food.
Huge.
That's what keeps them surviving.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's like what is like that whole line is very interesting. Do you feel like turkeys seem like a regular pet? Do they seem like a dog? Do they seem like they have that kind of thing in them? Or do they seem more distant and more like just a snack?
I mean, there's a fine balance. I don't care if that turkey, you had 2 turkeys by themselves in a pen that you farm raised, they can kind of, they can get to a point where they're kind of a little bit nicer. But like I said, the people that are raising turkeys small range and backyard, at a point at that 18 to 19 old range, they're still going to be an asshole.
Right.
But like I said, as they get older, that stuff goes away. They'll mellow out.
Right.
I've seen turkeys that are pretty chilled and cool, and then I've seen turkeys that are it's probably just like human nature. Some of us are chilled and others are complete dicks. So.
Oh, dude. When I was 16 years old, I probably deserved to die.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm real honest with you.
Same here.
Same here. Everybody I know did. What's the personal life like over there? You got a spouse. I see you brought your beautiful wife here today. Where'd you guys meet?
Oh, we met at a bar.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When y'all were what age were you?
Oh, I think I was mid-20s by then. So, yeah, I think we've been together for about 8 years.
Oh, that's a nice run, huh? How's it been, man, when you give him a thumbs up so far?
She puts up with me.
Does she?
Yeah, she's a good girl.
Did she want to be a entrepreneur? Did she have a business side, or is that?
Yeah. So she came from the restaurant industry, chef, ran a restaurant there in town for a while. We got together. I built her a food truck. She was chefing up some quality food at a couple wineries. We do some big events like Cycle Virginia, where there's like 3,800 cyclists.
Oh, wow.
And then we do other events. And then now she's doing Tiny Hazard kids clothes. We have a daughter that's 5 years old, and she makes some really unique pieces for other moms. They got a bunch of different moms groups and stuff. So she's a homemaker. She's making awesome clothes, and it's called Tiny Hazards.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll share the website and stuff and share the link. And so that's a small business, and what kind of stuff would you get from there? Could you get stuff for the holiday season from there?
Yeah, she's getting ready. I think you got a whole holiday line you're doing. So she's got the Christmas collection.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And it's for children's clothing? Or
Yeah. So no, for kids. I'm sure she would make something for some animals, some dogs and cats, but she's got her template done, and she'll do from babies up to toddlers. So it's kind of like that. I don't know if you ever heard of Rags, but that's kind of like a kid's clothes like that, but it's her own.
Nice. Now I'm gonna have to check it out. I don't have any children yet, but I wouldn't mind getting a wife and getting some children.
Well, you're in Nashville. There's plenty of them down there.
I know, man, but a lot of them down there are getting damn DUIs. You know what I'm saying? I got to find one I think a little further away from Broadway where there's a little less liquor in them.
Well, you're good over here. You can probably get you a Suburban.
I got to, maybe one with more antibiotics in it.
Yeah, get you a farm girl.
I wouldn't mind,
One with something in Kentucky with a horse farm or something.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind, sometimes I wonder why, You definitely find you definitely find more of like kind of a home, not, I don't want to say homemaker type, but there's people that's more family centric, I think, here than in like Los Angeles. There it's a little bit more work centric, and it's hard to have a family because everybody kind of, not it's hard to have a family, but it's hard to have like a space for a family to really like breathe, I think.
Well, it's good to get that teammate. She's not just at home. She works for a successful barbecue company. She does all the bookkeeping, tax preparation. Same with me. She keeps my books in order, so I don't have to think as much.
Yeah.
On that end.
I feel you.
Taxes are the devil. For the most
thinking's the damn devil, dude.
That's trouble.
Yeah, it is trouble, man. And what's the biggest threat then to turkey crops every year?
Just the unknown avian flu or something.
About lightning or something.
No, lightning's not a big deal.
Damn.
No, we're good.
It was.
You can have pileups if loud noises or go off, but like I said, we got alarm systems in there. We know what that stuff's running at. If something happened, I get a phone call right now and I'll know. Send my worker in there. The bigger operations, they'll have like a whole command center, and they'll have cameras on every angle. Computers run
It's like punked.
Yeah, man. Computers run the curtain machines, the heaters, everything's on thermostat, everything. And we're trying to provide them with the best possible growing environment. And that's pretty much, as long as you don't mess up with the biosecurity and go in there and bring something from the outside world, you're usually golden.
Now, there's a lot of like, even with that avian flu or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
the avian flu, yeah.
And humans can get that too?
No, that's not transmitted from what what we've read on. That's not something there's a type of avian flu that will go transfer to human. But I think all that stuff's over in China. And
can we transfer anything to them? Is there any like illness that you would have or a worker would have where you say, let's don't do it today?
Nothing that we carry would, transcend over there. I mean, they had I think some turkeys had what they call like a blue comb. It's kind of like a coronavirus, but that's something that's been for years they've had, and it's just kind of similar symptoms. Other than they get like a kind of a cough, chill out for about 2 weeks. It's just like a little flu, but it's not. It does hurt their growth, but it doesn't really like massively kill them. But I've heard of stuff like that out there. But for the most part in the valley, we've done very well, and we're spaced out enough, and we create good quality birds. And another little statistic I didn't even hit you with, just the industry alone for poultry in Virginia, that's a $12 to $13 billion industry.
Wow.
That we provide.
Wow.
So it's not like it's small time. I mean, we're small time, but we're providing a much larger service than what we.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't think about it. I mean, people just think everything just comes from somewhere. People think you just get emailed a turkey now. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
One last question I had. Why do we cannot have turkey eggs? It's the same as chicken eggs?
Yeah.
No way.
Damn. Yeah. It's a bigger egg.
I didn't know it. It's bigger too?
It's a little bit bigger.
And does it taste the same?
I mean, it's not too much different. I've only had it a few times, but I mean, you could potentially get turkey eggs if you had like a laying operation, like a small time. And I believe I don't even know anybody right now that does that. Like from a small farm aspect, like everybody has some chickens or something. And they produce. You get 3 chickens, they're producing way more eggs than you could ever eat by yourself. And
my sister, they're damn eating eggs. They got eggs everywhere. They're dying eggs. They're dying eggs on damn, they're dying them for Halloween and shit. They're out of their minds. But yeah, I love when they have chickens, I love being over there. Some of the chickens get pretty friendly. You know?
Some will. Some can, usually them roosters, like I said, just like a turkey dickhead.
Yeah.
Coming up trying to throw bows on you.
So a turkey's a bit more like a rooster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the concept. How roosters can be really aggressive, chase you. Them turkeys will chase you. So.
I wonder if some of these kind of more like athletic type men's and stuff would do a turkey egg. I wonder if there'd be a market for that. I feel like if I'm a protein junk, like I'm one of those guys, then I'd love to have me, 8 turkey eggs at the house, have the boys come over.
Yeah. I think some of them guys, they go for ostrich eggs. You see how big those suckers are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me see a turkey egg. Spence. We'll get out of here. I never even looked at one.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. See? It's a handful.
It's bigger than a chicken egg?
Yeah. Yeah. That's bigger than a jumbo chicken egg at that. You see how the whole palm of the hand. So you're looking at maybe a regular eggs like that. And then
I like that.
There you go.
Ooh, stunting. And he's mixed, too, that one.
Uh-huh. Got that speckle.
Yeah, boy, damn. That Ben Simmons, baby, let's go, son. What do you do to keep busy outside of when you're not working?
About close to 9-10 years ago, I started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Did you?
Yep. And then been doing it ever since. Started a gym. Now I got 2 gyms located, one in Front Royal, one in Luray. My other buddy's a second-degree black belt, my buddy Andy. He's got a gym in Harrisonburg near JMU College. And, so we started
They're
that.
switching conference, I think, JMU.
Yeah, they're going big time. They're going.
Good for them.
Yeah, man, they're killing it. They got a good program, and they'll bring in a lot more money with that new. I think they're going PacSun or Mount
ASUN or something? Maybe?
Something like that.
I don't know, something Sun.
And
Sun Belt.
Yeah, Sun Belt. That's
No Belt, I think. No Belt. That's my jiu-jitsu class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man. So you also run the gyms, or you have people that run them?
So I run the gyms with other instructors. I got a couple of guys that came up through the ranks with me, and I'm currently a brown belt right now under Christian Woodmansey, and he's a Autos black belt from his gym's in Philly. So Logic, and then just all over the place, man. I've trained with all the Autos guys, JT Torres, Andre. Galvo, and then just had my buddy Nassar. He's one of the HQ black belts out. He came out and we had him for a seminar, hung out with him for about 4 or 5 days.
Oh, that's cool, huh?
Get some training in and good times. But yeah, Andy's gym's Pressure, BJJ in Harrisonburg. But now, man, I love it. My daughter's 5 now, so she's all about it.
It's a great community.
Yeah, so I love the kids class, adults class. We just come together and have a good time.
Yeah, it was funny. I was in that's awesome, man. And congrats on just staying so entrepreneurial. That's one thing I find that's always interesting in people is how do you get entrepreneurial? Where does that come from?
I think certain drives, I'm not working a typical 9-to-5 job like yourself. You're not doing you're doing your thing, grinding it out, and I'm always taking on, I get a bunch of crap, but she supports me on everything I do, but I do take on a lot of projects. I'm doing thermal shelter. I'm building a homeless shower trailer right now.
For animals or people?
No, for people, for the thermal shelter for the homeless here in my town.
Homeless? How many people live in the town? It sounds like you probably have
it's
11 homeless.
Yeah, it's probably like you probably get about 25 or so.
Oh, that's fair then. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a population of 50,000 people.
Oh, wow. That's a nice size.
So it's not too bad. We get a lot of DC people move out, and
it's a pretty place to live, I bet, huh?
It's gorgeous. Mountains, rivers there. You got, the tourism aspect there. We had we call them leafers. They just come there to Skyline Drive. They want to see the leaves, and you're talking about they're backed all the way back up 66 for miles.
Yeah,
it'll mess up it turns our traffic into 495 Baltimore style traffic for those few weekends out of the year.
Yeah, we were just riding through like Vermont and some other places, and the best part, we got a tour bus for the first time. Rented a tour bus.
Nice.
Yeah, it was real interesting, but I got to sit in the back and have the window open. It's like, man, you just get to see the leaf. We were just cruising through leaf areas,
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So you see all these leaf people, and like the wife's got the shirt made just completely out of. She's got all these leaves hooked on her shirt, look like a damn scarecrow.
You'll see them yank off the side of the road, about run you off, just to get a picture. They're like, I'm gonna take a picture on the side of the road.
Yeah,
every 5 miles, new picture.
Is there like an albino turkey that happens? Is there any like interesting pigmentation that happened with a rare bird where you get a completely white or black or blue turkey? Is there anything interesting like that?
No, our birds are, a Nicholas or a hybrid style bird, and they're always going to be a white feathered bird, and nothing out of the norm. Now, wild turkeys, you have different subspecies, and they'll crossbreed mainly, out west where the Marion and the Rio kind of pops out a hybrid looking bird.
Right.
But
you ever eaten peacock or anything like that? I won't say nothing.
No, I ain't ate no peacock. I thought about it though.
Yeah, I have. I've thought about it. I will eat some one day. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say I'm not and lie to everybody.
That's good stuff. I hear good things.
Yeah, look, I mean, look.
It's a bird.
Yeah, look. If it looks like that, I'm gonna have a little. That's all I'm saying. Robert Upman, thank you so much for being here with us, man.
No,
really
man.
appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. Oh, I got you some swag from the farm and the jiu-jitsu gym.
Ooh, I need a new hat.
So I got that. It's a brand build. They do all my stuff.
Yeah, they're cool company, huh?
Yeah, man, they do awesome work.
They do. They've been doing real well. They sent us something a while back. Nice of them.
There you go.
Hazard Mill Farm, that's the farm?
Yeah, that's the farm. There you go.
Gang, baby.
There's an extra medium. You find you
Extra medium. Damn, I've never seen
That should
that.
be a large. But you got a medium there if you find you a girl down there. Just tell her.
Okay.
So what's up? I got the turkey
You know
hooked
how
up.
I like them, baby. You know? You know how I like them, dude. At least 16 weeks.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Robert Huffman, thank you so much for coming
Yeah, man,
in, dude.
thanks.
This is really just a nice gift, man. I know with Thanksgiving time, people aren't thinking about turkeys and stuff. Do Native Americans ever look at you as like the bad? Like, do you ever get billed as like the bad guy for doing turkey? You think?
Not to my face. I mean, I got some Native American family members, so we're the Virginia tribes. They still give a turkey and a deer to the governor every year.
Oh wow!
But now,
Wow, really?
yeah,
That's
they
pretty
still,
remarkable.
If you look that up, they'll still do that. It's like an annual. Since there's no reservations or anything in Virginia, you know, there's just what's left of us in that area. You know, my family members, they do the powwows and they'll do native.
Oh, you have Native American family members?
Yeah, so I got some that are married in, and you know they treat me. You know, they're awesome. So
Wow.
I mean, I don't have. I don't think they were really worried about.
Nobody's coming at you like you're like a pilgrim.
No.
Yeah,
no,
I didn't think.
No,
You never know though what's going on out there.
man, you never know. But
Yeah.
everybody's kosher with me. I try to do my thing, help people, and do good stuff.
Yeah,
So,
it sounds like it, man. Yeah, congrats on running a cool small business, man, and in a big industry.
yeah,
And just it's fascinating to learn and how much it costs to start, and
yeah,
it's been a real interesting conversation for me, man. I appreciate your time.
yeah. I appreciate you having me there, and you know, I do tours with the 4-H kids, get them involved, kind of give them that info on that industry, and
Oh yeah, my sister has a little bunny name. I don't know what his name was. I think his name was Denver or something, but he won. They won something. They keep him pretty clean, but I wish she kept her damn house clean. That thing is a damn trap, dog. God dang, dude. I said the Lord ain't gonna show up in here if this place is this dirty. I said he's just not doing it, you know. But yeah, we'll put the links to some of the stuff that you're doing, man, so people can check it out.
One other thing, I do a hunting youth day every year for kids, and like I was telling him, I take six kids maximum from everywhere, from New Jersey, Atlanta. They come out, and I partnered with my best friend TJ. He's VP of the Black American Outdoorsmen. Mm-hmm. They got a pretty good sized following, and we bring them out and give them all their swag. They get hunting gear.
It's a black hunting group.
Yeah,
Like
they
African
have
American black
yeah,
men.
Yeah, man, it's for everyone.
Yeah, they got some cool groups out there, dude. I see on TikTok some black hunter dudes sometimes.
Yeah.
Just because growing up, I never saw that, you know. But now you see a lot more. I just had never seen it, but anyway,
Yeah.
it's getting.
No, man,
Everybody loves to hunt.
Yeah, everybody loves.
A
to
lot of
hunt.
people do.
And the better we are at introducing new people, it's just going to be good for our industry and our sport, for the hunting aspect and the outdoors. And the main goal is to try to save as much land that we can for not only farming, but you know, certain places just need to
What
be
to go look
touched.
at.
Yeah.
Well, we won't even have pictures like that we can pull up in 20
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
If we don't take care of certain land, you know. It's funny because even we went and looked in Chattanooga a couple months ago. We were doing a show over there, so we went out to the you can see some of the river and stuff there, and now there's more factories in the distance, so even the scenery there is just getting a little bit marred
Did you
up.
guys go up on the cliff?
Yeah, we went up on one of them. I don't remember which one it was, but
Yeah.
But it's just interesting. We don't think about all that, you know, and until today we do. And I don't think what it looks like to be a turkey farmer until I see that picture. It's funny. You just don't know until you have some introduction. So thank you for introducing us to some stuff today, man.
No, I'm super excited to be here. Thanks, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. You guys be well, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
Yep, thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jonathan Kite, and welcome to Kite Club, a podcast where I'll be sharing thoughts on things like current events, stand-up stories, and 7 ways to pleasure your partner. The answer may shock you. Sometimes I'll interview my friends. Sometimes I won't. And as always, I'll be joined by the voices in my head.
You have 3 new voice messages.
A lot of people are talking about Kite Club. I've been talking about Kite Club for so long, longer than anybody else. So great. Hey, sweetheart, here's the deal. Anyone who doesn't listen to Kite Club is a dodgy bloody wanker. Do you know what I mean?
Hi, I'll take a quarter pounder with cheese and a McFlurry.
Sorry, sir, but our ice cream machine is broken.
No!
I think Tom Hanks just butt-dialed me. Anyway, first rule of Kite Club is tell everyone about Kite Club. Second rule of Kite Club is tell everyone about Kite Club. Third rule, like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts or watch us on YouTube, yeah? And yes, don't worry, my Brad Pitt impression will get better.
Okay, and... Boom, boom. Something different. Welcome, guys. Does that music get you pumped up? I don't know. Sound like somebody drowning and playing a guitar at the same time to me. But that's just me being judgmental. And that is music sent in from a man named Tiny Sandhu. And this gentleman hit me in the email. He hit me where it hurts. You know what I'm saying? The email. And he hit me in the email, Tiny Sandhu. I get an email yesterday. And first I see the name in the namespace. It says Tiny Sandhu. And I'm thinking, Tiny Sandhu? You know? Well, what is it? Turns out it's a man. Tiny Sandhu sent in music. And that was it right there. And that's Voodoo Child that he played himself. And that's Voodoo Child. And that's a cover of Jimi Hendrix. And he sent an email. It's a cover of Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix. Yet another magic man from the South. Home of the blues. Thank you, Tiny. Thank you, Tiny. I appreciate that. And I know they had a boy named Small Allen growing up in my neighborhood. And who could hang off of his daddy's scrotum and wiener. And some people know that. And not in a sexual way. That's not a sexual thing. You know, sometimes people, you know, his daddy was in the Eastern European vaudeville in the circus, you know, and whatever that was, I'm sure a real rot gut establishment, you know, but Small could hang off of his daddy's, when his daddy would drink, his daddy would drop drawer, and Small could grip onto his daddy's wiener and balls, you know, both of them, not at the bottom like a fucking, you know, midget on a punching bag. I'm talking up at the top, you know, where the rubber meets the road. He could grip him at the top and just hang off of his daddy's, you know, fertile accomplishment pieces. And that was pretty wild that Small could do that. And the Small Allen, fellow that grew up in my neighborhood. But anyhow, Tiny Sandhu, I'm sure that's probably the Small Allen of India, maybe, of West India. I'm not sure. But thank you for that music, man. We appreciate it. I've gotten a lot of music sent in. And one of these days, I'm just gonna play you some of the. You know what? Next week, Next week, I'm gonna play you that. But some of the ones that have been sent in, man, and some of them are great. Some of them are really not even great, or just not fit for this show. But I'm gonna send you the type of stuff that people have sent in that they felt was a complimentary to the show. And to me, some of it's striking and it's interesting and it's great, man. It's something else, dude. Some of it's sheer shit as well. Some of it is sheer shit. Like somebody just, you know, I mean, it's something else, man. But anyhow, welcome to this past weekend, October 23rd, okay? And I know Halloween's right around the corner. And also, I want to welcome you to this past weekend because we have our new first charter sponsor, and that is Gray Block Pizza, 1811 Pico Boulevard, Santa Monica, California. on your way to the beach, if you like pie in your face, go get that hitter at Gray Block. They got it. GREYBLOCK. They got the Frenchie, the Quad, the Bella Goat. Meet yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Get that beef in your teeth. Or go for the famous salad pizza if you leaning out for the beach or for prom or for a second marriage if you're trying to cut some gut. Hit that salad pizza if you're trying to cut some gut. If you're Italian or if you're not, it's the place. Gray Block Pizza. Order online. It's in Los Angeles on Pico Boulevard. Gray Block Pizza. GREY. GrayBlockPizza.com. We're happy to have them on board as our first charter sponsor. I'm very excited. And I'm excited for you guys to be here with me on this past weekend. What's going on? What did I do? You know what I did this weekend, man? I did what I wanted to. I did what I wanted to. And you know what it really was? A lot of it was nothing. A lot of it was nothing, dude. I got trapped watching that show Mind Hunter. Have you seen this? Have you seen Mind Hunter? You know, it's on Netflix, and it's about serial killers. You know, people that kill somebody and then also want to kill somebody again, because apparently if you kill someone, it's enjoyable. Who knew that? Honestly, sometimes I think it's sometime in the dark recesses of my mind, I probably knew that. You know, that if I just wrap my, meek little palms. I mean, I got the fingers of a talented cat. You know, I got real meek. I got the fingers of like somebody who makes pasta or makes pasta in a cave. You know, I got real just. I mean, if you painted my fingers brown and just hung them out the window, a bird would land on them. You know, I got them lean little branch giblets, you know, almost could easily be made out of wood, and not a nice wood either, you know, maybe teak, something not very sturdy, but those are the kind of hands that I have, you know. I mean, I'm a half hour away from carpal tunnel, I bet. You know, I do a Rubik's Cube and I get hit with that carpal tunnel. You know what I'm saying? I got meek fingers, dude. If I started to fall off a cliff and I grabbed for a rock, dude, I would definitely still fall off a cliff. I don't have that kind of, that hand strength, you know. I could maybe throw a pool ball, like a billiard ball. I could throw a billiard ball about 45 feet. I got these meek fingers. But I'm girthy in the shoulders. I'm girthy in that I got that uproar. You know. Like I took a deep breath and it just got stuck inside of me forever. That's what happened. I'm thick up top. You know, I'm thick up in that chesty. I probably have 50 or 60 ribs, I bet. If they crack me open, I bet you'd have a bunch of brothers and sisters showing up at the park because it's time to barbecue if they crack me open, and you know that. But yeah, I got caught in. Well, first I want to thank Tiny again for the music. And look, Tiny, I'll tell you this, Tiny. I don't know about music. You know, I've never been a big music man. You know, you're talking to a guy who's seen Goo Goo Dolls 4 times. You know, you're talking to a guy who would probably go to a Miley Cyrus concert. You know, if I had a box seat, I'm not staying down in the bottom with the children and PDOs that are down there, because that's PDO country. And Miley Cyrus is a place where I bet a lot of people that are, PDO and they're even out there just to have a good time and not even to meet children, because it's kind of that kind of fun music where everybody enjoys it. But you're talking to a guy who, have also been to see that Widespread Panic. You know, I've caught maybe 6 or 7 of their shows. You know, I've slept out in a van in a parking lot with a bunch of people that's, men and women smell the same and have the same haircut, and, they got different, they're eating grilled cheeses out of each other's, crotch. It's just wild stuff. You know, people that are, selling homemade biscuits out of a van and laying next to dogs or wolves at night, and eating spider webs and, who knows what else, ginger snaps. I've been around those types of people that, go to string cheese incidents and do the other stuff and listen to Fish, and ride around and learn to juggle and shit, even though they're in their early 40s. I've been around some of those damn fucking, architects, whatever they are, shit architects. But, so I don't have much of a music, but Tiny Sand who sent the music in, and I'm grateful for it. But yeah, watch that Mind Hunter. If you haven't seen this, now first of all, the thing is about Mind Hunter, it's about people learning that serial killers think differently. And I've always been obsessed with, with serial killing a little bit. I've always liked those shows. For some reason, my mother had us watching America's Most Wanted as a child. That was the show that our family got together and watched. And man, I just remember being so scared. And I don't know if my mother probably should not have let us watch it. But my mother, we were adults early because there weren't a lot of, she kind of let us make our own choices really in a lot of ways. And, of course, as a kid, you're like, oh, I can handle whatever. But I remember hiding behind the sofa sometimes at some of the stories. But I got into that stuff, dude. And some of these shows, it's addictive. You won't see a friend for 3 or 4 days. And you're like, man, are you okay? Would you have the flu? And they're like, nah, man, I didn't have the flu, dude. I had Ozark. I had a heavy case of the Ozark. I came down with it, and then my lady came down with it. And then spouses start fighting because you're on different episodes. You seen these episode fights? Oh, well, he fucking Frank, He thought he'd be cute, come in drunk, and watch 2 episodes of Ozark without me. Fuck you, Teresa. You always doing. You watch 6 Datelines without me. So what are you even talking about? But you got couples getting into episode fights, and it's ruining bedroom stuff. Because they don't want to be in that, people on different episodes, and they feel like that's how they relate anymore. Play some Scrabble with your wife, or play some damn cards. Take a night off, sit in front of each other, look into each other's eyes. But with that said, man, I love some damn serial killing, and I've never had a strong taste or knowledge base for music. Because you know what happened to me? For years, I drove around, I wouldn't even listen to music in my car. Maybe I could be a SK, serial killer. Because that's the kind of serial killer things serial killers do. I think I just got addicted to listening to my own thoughts. I was so trapped in my own head, I would just drive around and listen to my own fucking thoughts that were on repeat, dude. It was like 5 tracks. All of them were shit. So, at least whatever you sent me, Tiny Sandu, was better than me listening to my own thoughts for a little bit. But we got a lot going on. This week. People are getting fired up because Halloween is coming up. Halloween. And I got the hands for Halloween, dude. Oh, I couldn't. The only person I could probably strangle I bet I could strangle about a 13-month-old. Anything over than that, I would need assistance. That's how I got weak fingers, man. I got weak fingers, dude. I got fingers that are just, like I have trouble sometime with a Ziploc. For me, red and, yellow and blue, most of the time still just make yellow and blue. I got to call somebody in because I don't have heavy pressure in my fingers. And I think I get that from my mother. She has, but she's strong, but she got them lean fingers, I think. Or maybe my father, I don't know. Maybe my father. My father, by the time I got to look at his fingers, my father was, 80 years old when I was 10. So I think anything I get that's not working good, I think it's safe to assume that I got it from my father. The genetics on there probably, I might have these senior citizen fingers. But yeah, that mine hunter, I got trapped. And you can get trapped in these episodes, man. You're watching, you wake up in the middle of the night, you go to piss. Next thing you know, you're 4 episodes deep in, Breaking Bad because you never started it. It's intense out there. And Stranger Things is coming back in a week and a half. Just a lot going on. But I got caught watching that show, that Mindhunter, and it's about serial killers, man. And I've always had a fascination. I remember when I was young, I used to collect those. Remember, they used to have these blue and white cards. They were white, but with blue. It was missing person. And I think the number was 1-800-THE-MISSING. And they would send them to you in the mail every week or every other week. And they'd have pictures, 2 pictures of children. And one was when they went missing, and one was what they assumed they looked like now. And I collected those. And I remember I would look at them all the time. And some people are thinking, well, that's a serial killer type of thing to do. But I did it because I remember I don't know. I felt sometimes like, I don't know. Maybe I wondered if I had been a missing person or something. I think I felt so out of place in my own life sometimes that that maybe I thought one of those cards would come and it'd be like, oh, this is, this is where I've been or what's been going on. I think I just felt missing, I don't know why, man. But I sympathize with those kids. I sympathize with those kids. For some reason, I would collect them and I would look at them all the time. And I remember one time I thought I saw one of the children. So that's a little bit of a dark thing to think about this morning. But also at the same time, it's not. I was looking for these children. I was keeping tabs on some of the different kids that were coming across that were missing or allegedly missing, But I always had a fascination with that. And America does right now. America has a fascination with that. There's a new podcast as well out that's called Dirty John that you might want to listen to. I just listened to the first episode today. It's pretty good. But I think that's something you might enjoy. But that's what I did this weekend, man. I went to some music. This guy, Moses Sumney. I don't know if you've heard of this gentleman or not. But he's good, man. I hadn't listened to, I haven't been to a music show in a while. But Moses Sumney, Sumney. It's a tall gentleman, originally from Ghana, grew up in California. And man, I'd never seen music like this. This dude he's playing the guitar some, and he's playing the piano, and he's got these pedals that are looping everything, and there's these lights going on, and he's doing this kind of interpretive dance, but it was next level, man. Like I went to a warp zone. It was like somebody, took a big bat and knocked my head right off of my body, and my head was just flying through space, and I wasn't in any pain, and my eyes were open, and my ears were open, and I was just traveling through the galaxy. That's what this man created with this music. So if you get a chance to check him out, Moses Sumney is this guy's name, Moses Sumney. I haven't met the gentleman in person, but it was pretty cool. But yeah, I've been to some shit music, man. I remember, when I was a child, we would eat drugs and go in there. The first concert I ever went to was Marilyn Manson. Speaking of spooky stuff. And me and my buddy Scotty, who was really fancy. I mean, a real Fauntleroy of a boy, kind of nice looking. Looked like his whole body, like it just was made out of conditioner. Because I didn't know they had conditioner. You know what I'm saying? Till probably, maybe 19 or 21 or something. But he looked like he just, like just damn baby goats came at night and just licked his body while he was sleeping, and did his hair with their tongues. Because he looked soft like that. He looked not soft in a bad way, but he just looked, fully manicured by God, like just natural. He looked like them baby goats was taking care of him at night. He looked clean. He looked real clean, He looked like he could go a couple days without brushing his teeth if he wanted to. It looked like he could brush his teeth with his hands and they would have still come out really clean. He just looked that clean, And I remember me and him went to Marilyn Manson, and we met this dude, Big Richard, and I've told some of this story before. He ended up getting busted. He got busted actually for filing out there, allegedly, but he went to jail for it, and he was a senior citizen. And he dropped us off at Marilyn Manson, bro, before they were huge, when they were just popping off. They were playing at this probably 250 person venue called the Rendon Inn in New Orleans. And me and Scott are there, underage, 14 years old, listening to Marilyn Manson. And I remember being in the bathroom urinating, and some man walked in, and he's like, what are these fucking kids doing in here, right? And these people are all dressed up. This was when Marilyn Manson was like, when they were, he would cut his drummer open on stage with a bottle, and the drummer would go to the hospital, and like really go to the hospital, like not like we're just going to get some pictures of him at a Ready Med or at a 24-hour, saloon or something, medical saloon. This one they would really go to the hospital. And I remember being in the bathroom urinating, and some guy's like, what are these fucking kids doing in here? And me and my buddy was in there urinating separately, because I don't do joint urination, and I never have, even when I was a child, shoulder to shoulder. Dude, give me at least a half inch, bro. We don't even fucking know each other. You know what I'm saying? Unless we're in the military, dude, we're not touching each other's bodies and holding onto our wieners at the same time, dude. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to go off at a game of gay chicken, we can play that all day. But as young adults standing here shoulder to shoulder, come on now. So I'm in there, my buddy's in there, and we're like, the guy's like, what are these fucking kids doing in here? And some other dude goes, I don't know, but I'm sure somebody will fuck them up. And when you're a kid, dude, and you hear that kind of shit, you're just like, Jesus, man. The world is not a safe zone, you know? And I think it was right around Halloween time when that happened too, man. And so I remember that got us in the mood to be spooked out for sure, dude. For sure. Fun Halloween, man, coming up, the kids. Just talking to my buddy on the phone, he said he got his son, they got a Batman outfit, but the muscles already built in. And I'm asking, well, what is that shit? When I was young, dude, if you got that Batman, that thing was a piece of shit, dude. Remember, it was just like, it had the cape, it had that mask, dude. They had this girl in our neighborhood, Big Melissa. Even though she was young, they called her Big Melissa. And I mean, you could guess why they called her Big Melissa. But I mean, she had the biggest head I've ever seen, dude. Wider than it was tall. I mean, that head was probably, I would guess it was, I don't know, it was probably 8.5 by 11, like a sheet of paper maybe, but sideways, you know, long ways. And I remember she would put the mask on for that Halloween costume. But when I was young, it had the side of the mask that would cut into your face, dude. And that band on her head was so tight, dude. She had this huge cut. It would push her whole head up into the mask, almost like a cookie, right? It would just be cut out around the sides, man. Just chirped out around the sides. That thing would just cut into her skin. So after she took it off, her whole face for a couple of days had been molded into whatever she was, you know, like a little gummy bear or what else did they have? Gummy bears or Winnie the Pooh or a cat. It would just mold her face like a cookie. That thing would stick to her face, and she had to have help getting it off, that mask. But those things were dangerous. And the Batman costume when I was young was a piece of shit. You know, my buddy's telling me that his son has the muscles built in. Dude, when I was young, you had to damn hit the gym. I don't care if he was 9 years old, dude. You better hit the gym, dude. You know what I'm saying? You better get on some high-quality breast milk, dude. You better skip a baby in the tit line and catch a little bit of breast milk and put on some weight if you want to fill out a Batman costume. You had to make your own. You had to grow. You had to get ready for it, you know? If you wanted to be something, you had to be it. You know, if you wanted to be a Army war veteran, you know, you might break your arm a couple weeks before and be in a cast, you know, or, you know, hobble yourself, you know, and tie your legs together, you know, for a couple days before. So you're practicing that hobble. So you look really hobbled. You know, we went into Halloween with purpose. Now these kids get in costumes with the muscles built in. Hit the fucking gym, young buck or young lady. Why don't you hit the gym for 6 weeks before October 31st and fill out that costume naturally? Quit cutting corners, you know? That's a problem sometimes with America. You know, these kids want to cut corners. But I just remember it being different, man, you know? I remember it being different. I remember one kid wanted to be Oscar the Grouch, right? But he didn't have like a can or anything. He just duct taped a bag of trash to his back, dude. He looked like a homeless Ninja Turtle, really. He had just a huge bag of just garbage, and the garbage just leaked, just a garbage he found on the street, you know, out by the street. And he just duct taped it like 40 different ways around his back. And the bag was so heavy, it kept weighing him down. So sometimes he'd fall back on his back, and we have to, you know, push him up by the shoulders and get him back upright. But he was supposed to be a damn Oscar the Grouch, but no can. You know, I guess kind of like a naked Oscar the Grouch, you know, a little bit, mildly naked because he didn't have that can on him. But yeah, I remember Halloween, man, and I remember it being fun. But I've been getting into these TV shows, and I'm just saying that some of them are addictive. You know, they're addictive, man. You get into these shows, and they're just addictive. They're just addictive, you know, and it's almost, I don't want to say it's too addictive, but it's almost, I feel like, dangerous sometimes when this binge watching comes out. Because it makes it harder. If you're not in control, like I'm not in control sometimes, you know, and I have an addictive personality, and I will quickly get into it, and then I can't get out. So that's tough TV watching for people that aren't able to get in and out of things very easily. And that happens to me, man. That's exactly what happens to me. What else is going on this weekend? I did some comedy sets. Had a good time. I saw Brendan Schaub. Saw Rogan. I saw Bobby Lee, guys that I love. I'm doing this pilot for Comedy Central. If you live in the California area and are a man who's been going through something, or you are a woman who has a husband or boyfriend who's been going through something wild, that's kind of manhood type stuff. Maybe he's afraid to pop the marriage question, or maybe you're afraid to whatever it is. I need men who are dealing with men stuff. Men who are dealing with men stuff. Hit me up on the hotline, 985-664-9503. We're putting together this pilot, and it's going to be pretty neat. Just want to hear some stories and see if we can possibly incorporate one of them into the pilot project. And that project actually is based on this podcast. So pretty cool, man. If we didn't start this and get this going, then that opportunity doesn't present itself. So that's pretty awesome, man. We're doing some really, really neat stuff, it seems like. What else is happening, man? I remember other costumes that I had as a kid, I remember being a firefighter, and I didn't really have a costume, dude. And my brother had this little wagon, right? So we filled that wagon with a little bit of kerosene, and he would pull the wagon and and we lit the kerosene. He'd pull the wagon, that's the fire, right? And then I had like a bat and like a fake gun, and I was running behind the wagon of fire shooting it like a fighter, So it's kind of I guess even at that time it was kind of a play on words, and it was a little bit, it was a little damn ridiculous in hindsight, But I remember being a firefighter when I was a kid. I remember being Where's Waldo. I remember being I was on a boat one time, and people were using each other's pubic hair to make, mustaches and beards because we didn't have any spare hair. As a child, I was Raggedy Ann a couple times on accident, and I was Raggedy Andy. What else? What else was I as a kid? I don't remember. Maybe when I was a baby, I might have been a damn pumpkin. Everybody dresses a baby up like a pumpkin. I saw my little nephew got a costume, and he's going to be a Native American, and he's going to do it honorably, I think, So I hope he honors them as he gets out and does some trick-or-treating. But that's it, man. Halloween's coming up. I saw some people out in costume this weekend, and guess what? Fuck those people, because that's too early to be out in costume. You're out 12, 13 days before Halloween. You're out there running around? Come on, man. Bit much, isn't it? For adults. And also, ladies, be careful if you invest something in your child. If you got a child out there and you're just going to buy your child a $13 costume, but you're going to go spend $300-$400 on yourself, looking like if you're going to dress up like a slutty snail or something, maybe even it out. Maybe, get you something else, like, a conservative, maybe be a conservative, a conservative calamari, and get your son, maybe your daughter, maybe $100 outfit. But get something good, But happy Halloween, everybody. I think we'll have one more episode before Halloween, so I'll maybe get into a little bit more then. But I just wanted to wish everybody a happy Halloween. What else is going on? Not much. The news, I haven't really watched much of it, Trump's, always, tweeting at everybody. And they're fighting. The whole thing is so much ego. I know that Hillary's going to run again. Hillary's going to fucking run again. And and I bet she would lose. Man. This whole thing is this twisted ego universe, man. It's so crazy how egos and bruised egos, all these politicians, man. I would vote a waffle iron into the White House if I could. Because I hope this whole thing, that's why I think Trump's hilarious a lot of times, because he doesn't give a fuck. And that's bad. At some point, it's a bad example, because you want somebody to give, but he's just like this crazy kind of business guy who's complete empath. It's like, but then sometimes that's what a lot of America is. I think sometimes we don't want to be realistic about Trump, because it's like, I think he embodies some of exactly what we are. You know, exactly what a lot of America as a cloth sometimes it feels like has become just this, it's about making money. It's about business. It's about cutting corners. I don't know, man. But it's just funny because Obama made fun of Trump years ago at that speech, at that dinner, and then Trump wants to show him back. He's like, oh, well, you know what? I could have your job. And he does, and he gets his job. And then Hillary loses, and she's so butthurt. And then she's going to, and I can just tell she wants to run again, man. Dude, it's just like the WWE. It really is. It's just like professional wrestling, bro. And that's why for me it's exciting because people are fired up. People are angry, good. Or people are good, whatever. I've never depended on politics to have ever had, I didn't feel like an effect on my life. Like they were going to bring, I don't need that. For my comfort. Now, it would get super scary if, there's a war, something crazy like that breaks out, But at the same time, is that what we're at a point where it's like something's going to happen. Mother Nature's about to whoop everybody's ass. She's already doing it, I don't think as humans sometimes we're behaving, I don't know if it's behaving, but are we best serving ourselves, as humans? I don't know. I don't know. But I ask myself that question, and I look around and base that on my own eyes, the news has gone to a level, the news will get people killed, dude. If you follow the news, getting people killed, dude. Oh, everything's a problem. Dude, Yahoo has changed so much. I used to go to Yahoo to get stuff. Dude, go read the lines on Yahoo, their headlines. It's so bizarre. You're like, what is this? Smut. You got to keep your face out of the smut, dude. That's what you got to keep of. Anyhow, that's enough of my politics. I just think it's just everything has become the WWE. The Rock, I've heard real rumors in Hollywood. This is real stuff that The Rock is going to run next time. The Rock. And the crazy thing is that Hollywood they helped create Trump. That's the funniest thing to me sometimes. You had all these people in Hollywood are so angry about Trump, but Hollywood helped create him. That platform, somebody in Hollywood made millions and maybe millions and millions and millions of dollars off The Apprentice. I'm sure I don't know what network it is or what producer, whoever's attached. But no accountability there. There's no way that he wins if he doesn't have that format, that platform, that show, that show. There's just so many, and I just think it's funny because I love seeing politicians just yell at each other and fight. It's just like professional wrestling. But when it comes to the reality of things, what do? I get up in the morning, I get out of bed. I try to be of service to my friends and family. I try to be of service to others. I don't do it all the time. I don't do it every day perfectly, but I try. I keep making an effort. I take care of my side of the street. Mother Teresa said, you want to change the world? Go home, love your family. I'm not out here fiercely bitching all day about this. These people are ruining this. These people are ruining that. These politicians never did anything for me. And that's why I think you have it. It's like a lot of people are shocked that, Hollywood, or that, it's now the biggest thing is that it's opioided America. That's who voted Trump in office. Dude, most of America is just poor people. You realize that? And guess what poor people like, dude? We like professional fucking wrestling, bro. That's it. We want to be entertained. Oh, I get to be poor while the rich keep getting richer and the disparity of wealth in America gets greater and greater. And while politicians seem, the second they get elected, you can tell the whole thing, you can see in their eyes that most of them are already thinking about the wealth they're going to make on these speaking tours afterwards. Well, the least that can happen is it can be an entertaining fucking 4 years. And you might think, Theo, that's crazy. That's not how poor people think. I grew up these people. I know how they think. I get it. I'm not trying to like shove it down, but I'm telling you that that's how poor people think, man. That's how a lot of people think. People are just tired of fucking watching the same show. It's the same show. All right, enough about me, man. I'm sorry to go off on those deep ends sometimes, but I'm just such a mortal, I'm so mortal, God. And I'm just trying to stay alive, I think, but I'm fascinated that I'm just fascinated at what everything's kind of turning into. And I think change is good, man. I think change is always good. It's the hardest thing sometimes to go through and to recognize while it's happening. But change is always, it has to occur. And I think the outcome is always greater than what was the energies or whatever that was happening before, except for dying. Dying, probably not a cool change, like, hey, won't be seeing you guys for a while, that's probably not a good one. But enough about me, man. We had some great calls this weekend. First, I want to tell you guys, though, that November 16th through 19th, I will be in Huntsville, Alabama at Stand Up Live, Huntsville. And also, I want to tell you that Dollar Shave Club is the smarter choice. Get a great shave at a great price, conveniently delivered right to your door. And when I use my Dollar Shave Club executive razor with their Dr. Carver's shave butter. Have you heard of Dr. Carver? Oh, he makes some naughty face butter. The blade just gently glides, giving me such a smooth shave. You too can make the smarter choice by joining Dollar Shave Club. For a limited time, new members get their first month of the executive razor free with a tube of their Dr. Carver shave butter for only $5 and free shipping. After that, razors are just a few bucks a month. You can get this offer exclusively at dollarshaveclub.com/weekend. That's dollarshaveclub.com/weekend. For a limited time, you get your first month with the executive razor for only $5 with free shipping. Check that out. Support the podcast. You can also go to patreon.com. patreon.com/Theo Von, TheoVon. There will be exclusive footage, extended footage from today's episode there. And I want to thank all my Patreoners, that Gunt Squad, for supporting, and all of my Patreon, those bumpers, everybody, for being a part of things. All right, guys, let's get into some of your calls. You had some this weekend, and I appreciate it, man, of what was going on in your lives. Here we go.
Theo, hey, this is Tommy Judson, your buddy from Ohio. My wife and I saw you in Baltimore and met you last year, maybe this year.
Dirty Tommy, man, or Clean Tommy. I'm not sure. I didn't get a good look at you. But Tommy Judson, good to see you. Good to hear your voice, man. I'm glad your wife, it sounded like y'all still together. Let's hear a little bit more. And I did get offered a threesome. I got offered into a mixed bag over there, a threesome and that was in Baltimore. Onward.
Anyway, I was a EMT for a lot of years, and you reminded me of the time when I went into some dude literally in Ohio. Some dude literally fell off his bar stool and died. We went in there to try to revive him. He had a cardiac arrest, and we were doing CPR and jamming him with needles and trying. And as I was giving him CPR, literally looking into his dead eyes, really wild.
Yeah, dead eyes are wild, dude. Dead eyes, I mean, it's crazy. We go from, being that human to having a little bit of fish in us really quick. Having a little bit of fish in us really, really quick. Let's hear more.
The people in the bar were still sitting there eating their French fries and dipping their chicken wings in the blue cheese. So, yeah, people are weird around this death genre, or like.
Yeah, people are weird around death, and I know you're referencing Tommy as well. I spoke last week about how I was around that choking incident. I saw a woman was choking to death and her husband just kind of massaging her shoulders and kind of rubbing her neck a little bit like she had a fucking, like she had a knot, like she'd had a tough job, a tough afternoon doing, tries and traps or whatever. But, this man was just, his wife was choking and other people sitting around and just almost don't know what to do. It's this pause that comes over everyone. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty fascinating that people are still eating snacks. That's very Roman, I feel like. That's one of the things you see back in Rome, when they got a vulture, 7 or 8 vultures fighting a pickpocket, and they put him out there in the ring and they're, and they're chasing him and, biting his kneecaps off and all of that shit, ripping moles off his back. All these vultures are, just, pecking moles off his back and stuff. And the whole time the crowd is just sitting there cheering and eating snacks and everything. That's very Roman. And it's amazing how sometimes we get so Roman when somebody's dying. I remember being at a buffet as a child. My mother had a boyfriend. He sometimes would take us to the Holiday Inn buffet up there on Saturday. And they had a waffle man. They had a man up there in a fancy hat that made waffles, dude. And he looked kind of, I guess, Italian. But he made these waffles. We go get that waffle. And we did not get along with my stepdad, but we would be nice with my mom's boyfriend. But we would be nice though sometime to get that waffle. Get that hitter in our mouth. Get that fucking big hot. That big hot fucking French cookie, man, or whatever it is. I don't know if waffles are French. They sound kind of French to me. AFFLE, waffle. I'm not sure. Could be French. But anyhow, but yeah, I feel you, man. When somebody dying, some people still want to eat. And I think some of that's guttural too. Because you see somebody else is dying. So you think, okay, I better sustain. And the first thing you do, boy, I mean, hell, if somebody's breastfeeding next to me, I'll take a hit off that fucking, that nippled bag, you know what I'm saying? Because the first thing you want to do is sustain. And sustaining is the number one thing. I mean, it's like at the end of Grapes of Wrath, they got a lady with breasts, and she's breastfeeding her own family. People take or strangers or something taking hit off a woman's breast for survival. So I think if you see somebody dying, fucking, you might just crack open a bag of Frito-Lays or some snow peas or something, and put them in your mouth to keep sustaining. But I appreciate you calling, and thanks for your service out there as an EMT, dude. You guys are out there on the front lines of fucking overdosers and all of that shit, and that's got to be pretty heady, dude. So thank you for calling. If you have a good story, actually, if you're buzz me in sometime and let me know on the hotline what some of the stories you have are. I'd love to hear them. And that hotline number is 985-664-9503 as well. So if you want to get involved in it and you're not involved in it, hit the hotline. Let us know what's going on. Okay, let's keep cruising. Here we go.
Hey, Theo, this is your boy, CC from Ohio.
CC! Thank you for calling. Here we go.
Buckeye Nation. Here's the situation. I have a manager at work. She is married to another woman, female lesbian.
Oh, yeah, that's female lesbianism. Onward.
And,
I have the same haircut as a lot of those women, and I see a lot of them checking my shit out, too, online. I see y'all on Instagrams trying to hawk my shit, gender-neutral style, boy. Word up. Let's hear more, brother.
They've been hitting on me, and they're both like solid 8s, Ohio 8s.
Hey, dude, an Ohio 8, it's an Indiana 9, baby. That's what they say. Let's hear more.
And hitting on me and my wife, actually. Wanted to know if that would make things weird at work, if I dabbled a little bit in those dark arts. And also, do you think that if I partook in any of this, it would make me feel, emasculated in any way to have, maybe my wife enjoying this a little bit? Also wanted to know maybe...
Wow. Okay, that's a lot right there. So you have this option. That's called a bass trap, too. They call it a bass trap, dude, when two lesbians are hitting on you. They're trying to get you in that bass trap. And, yeah, look, man, I mean, I feel like that's intimidating. If both of them are 8s, I have a feeling one of them's an 8 and one of them's a 6. I'm just going to be honest. That's what I have a feeling. because sometimes it's hard to get, two real hitters at an 8 that are lesbians in the Midwest. I'm guessing one's an 8 and one's a 6. I'm just guessing, bro. And that's okay. That's me being a little bit judgmental there. But that's safe, but because I'm saying is, one of my buddies one night came up to me at a bar and he's like, man, I got these 5 girls that want to hook up with me. And I looked at him and he's like, they were all 2s, And he's like, dude, 5 2s make a 10, right? We've all heard a reference like that before. But I'm like, dude, that's, at a certain point, you're not even, what type of sex is it? If there's 5, and these women were all the same height, all little women, 5 little women, 1 penis. It sounds like a Japanese game show more that he was getting involved in, But it can be intimidating, if you get in that environment with the 2 ladies. And now a bass trap is when 2 lesbians get you into, they get you into the bed. But then one of them, that killer, you know what I'm saying? Because one of them's always that Sugar Ray Leonard, the sweet one. And then one of them comes in and she's that George Foreman, that gorilla. One of them comes in that gorilla boy, and the gorilla be laying down the law. And that gorilla sometimes will show you who's boss. And that's where it can be a little bit weird, dude. That's where it can be a little bit weird, where the gorilla shows up and, that George Foreman shows up and she just starts putting it on her lady in front of you after you already got in there, or when you're about to be next, you know what I'm saying? She's swinging away, dude. She's, batting practice and you still over there in the batter's box, and you start getting nervous and, and she's bringing in fake instruments to the game. She got some fake pecker tied to her, to her rib cage or something. And that's how, they're getting into it. And that's okay. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of this, I mean, hell, I got a lesbian's haircut. I've taken this haircut. I've styled it after different lesbian cuts that I've seen. Always. My father told me I had the heart of a lesbian when I was a child. And I've always tried to live up to his, things that I guess we all try to live up to, things that our Father wants out of us and the things that our Father tells us about us, that always reflects in us most of our lives. But yeah, that can be intimidating, man. And that's, dude, I'd love to know more if you navigate those waters, dude. If you out there Huck Finning and Black Jimming out there, baby, I'd love to know what that mighty Trista-sippy, if you get into that tryst, baby. If you get into that tryst, man, with those ladies. Now, if you bring your wife in, gee, dude, this is a damn movie you're living in. So you got 2 Ohio 8s. You're out there gunning with 1 man penis. You got man penis running on natural battery power, natural blood flow. So I'd pop a 5 milli of Cialis before you get out there. You know what I'm saying? Put your dancing shoes on your dick. Because you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to show up to the ballpark wearing sandals. You know what I'm saying? So I'd pop a 5 milli just to stay in the, just to keep balls in the field of play. That way, if you fade out once, you could chill in the back, have you a snack, a small snack or something, a couple orange slices, and then get back out there and be hitting that, gunning down on them on that crotch. Because at that point, those ladies are going to be tag teaming your wife. You're going to be sitting in the distance. They're going to be out there tag teaming. One of them's going to be having her in a headlock, and one of them's going to be flying off the top ropes, and putting everything, putting her grill into the mat and all of that, and doing different things, doing, leg locks, doggy style leg locks and all of that. It's going to be, I don't know. And then also, will it be weird if your wife sees you not perform super well? Like, you don't want to be, you don't want them to be going out there at it. One of them's got a bunch of, some yarn tied around her waist and with that, one of them plastic Johnsons, hanging off her rib cage. And she's straight up buckling that clam on the, with her lady, with her lesbian lover. And you're sitting on the sidelines, and your wife's toweling off your forehead and shit. And you only was at it 3 or 4 minutes. That could be scary, bro. Wow, man, this is interesting because I can't even imagine being in that situation. All the things, if it could happen or would happen. Man, dude, that's brave, man. That's really, really brave. If you get in there, I'd love to know a little bit more about it if it does occur. And if you get in there, man, and things do get weird and you do start to feel a certain way, just, be honest, I would say. Just say, look, ladies, I'm going to let you guys enjoy each other's company. I'm going to sit over here and relax. You know, because part of my problem is I would get in there and think I had to be this type of man. You know, that can be started, then suddenly I'm fighting my own self, you know? Now I'm thinking, my dick's thinking. You don't want your dick thinking, dude. That's what you don't want. And that's what happens a lot of times these days. All of our men's dick are thinking. And that's why we're not able to achieve sexually as much as we used to. You know, because there's not as much natural, you know, everything's thinking nowadays. It's not as much nature. You know, we're not riding our limbic system as much as we used to. And so we're riding our thoughts, and our thoughts, and your dick don't run on thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Your dick runs on that fortitude. You know, on that one drop of frickin', on that one drop of booty LSD that the Lord just dripped into your spine when he made you. That's what and that formulates your whole universe and keeps you out there in them streets, you know, and keeps you out there being able to have sex and do sex naturally. Because that's those natural causes you have inside of you. But man, if you get out there, dude, wow. Well, if you need help, man, hit up our first caller, that EMT, man. He might be able to get out there and help you out as well. Or maybe that was you that called us EMT. I can't even remember now, man. My brain gets a little bit bad. Because hell, it's Sunday evening, you know. But my Saints won, so that's truly beautiful. But yeah, man, I appreciate it. And have I ever been in an instance like that? I'll tell you this, dude. I got in this 3-way activity one time, and I forgot about this. I got in this 3-way activity out there in Missouri. And that's swinger country. And these are probably young swingers that hadn't grown up yet and gotten married. And so they were just... And one of these girls, real sexy, you know? Real sexy. You know, like if you saw her at a bus stop and it wasn't your stop, you might get off the bus just to have a shot to talk with her and then walk to your stop. You know, as long as it wasn't raining, you might do that if you saw this girl. But, and her friend looked kind of, she was a little bit Baltic Avenue, if you know what I'm saying, man. She wasn't, I mean, this first baby was damn Marvin Gardens, you know what I'm saying? She was already around that third corner, you know, she was that kind of looker. But this first baby, you know, this little baby cat was, she was a little more Baltic. And that's fine, man. She was a sweet girl, both sweet girls. And I went into it just saying, look, I'm going to do what I can. But that Baltic baby, she kind of, you ever seen like those old, like weightlifting videos or from like the 1700s or whatever, where the guy has the dumbbells and it's the big round dumbbells and it says like 1,000 on each side and he's like holding it up and he's wearing like a unitard, you know? She looked like that. You know, she had that Bulgarian swagger in her, you know? She had that, you know, that Russian, she looked like she's about 90% Russian, you know? And then, and so she was like, you know, so I was trying to really make love to the more, you know, the one that I felt, you know, the one that was more of a looker, you know, the one that I wouldn't mind, you know, seeing again. And then her friend was more, she was that wrestler, you know, she kept wrapping her legs. She would do crazy shit too. I remember I was doing a little bit of doggy style activity, that rear entry position, with the woman on her knees and me, the man, back behind her. And then the lady, that little, you know, that little, she was kind of like a damn, like a, you know, like a fast sloth. She kind of was on my back, kind of almost jockeying me, you know. She's on my back, jockeying me, and I'm trying to be, you know, I was almost that middleman, you know, a little bit. It's almost like she was like this fucking fast Russian backpack I was wearing, you know. And she had her crotch out, and she was doing all kinds of, she was almost doing stunts and shit around us while me and this other girl were making love. And then, you know, both of them was sitting on top of me, and this shit was wild, dude. This shit was wild, man. But it was pretty enjoyable. But there's also just a lot going on, so you don't know. It's hard to know when to, you know, where you're supposed to be. That's it. You almost need like somebody to do the blocking and do some, okay, you be here, okay. You know, when the music stops, everybody get in a chair. You know, you almost need, you know, you need a lot going on. You know, you almost need a referee or somebody like a wedding planner if you want a real successful threesome, I think. But outside of that, you know, a different time in Indiana, I was with two Indiana sixes. and those are Mississippi 9s, and that's actually, I think Mississippi does have some beautiful women. Actually, that's not even true, and and they were cousins, man, and we did some really short, quick sexuality, full-time sex, but at part-time, full-time, it was full-time sex, but more at part-time, part-time interest, because I wasn't super fired up. But those were different days. All right, man, but thank you for calling, dude. Good luck out there. I'd love to know a little bit more about it if you get into it, man. I want to hear a little bit more about this next call right here. Here we go.
Hey, Theo. It's Brock, University of Central Missouri.
Oh, Missouri, that's swinger country, and that's where that threesome I was just talking about with that Bulgarian, with that backpack Bulgarian. I don't remember she had like a Japanese name too. What was it? Oh, man. Maybe Sensei or something. Sensei? Her name could have been Sensei. Here we go, onward.
So I got a question for you, how to handle something.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of short. I don't really got a lot of confidence in myself when I'm at the bars with other people, because I don't really know how to talk to a girl or do anything like that. So yeah, man, I don't know how to handle it, man. I just get in my head. I don't know how to overcome that. Seems like you could have some good advice on this one. Let me know. Thanks, man.
Well, Brock, I appreciate you calling, man. I appreciate this. I appreciate you sharing, being willing to share, what your thoughts are and what you see as a problem for yourself and what you feel as a problem for yourself or a difficulty. Let's don't label it a problem. It's a difficulty that you're having. You're lacking some confidence there. You feel like it's associated with your height, and you have trouble then, at the bars, or probably more, I'm going to assume more in the vein of meeting women, and I know you're talking about that. So, I'm kind of like an average heighted dude. I'm kind of stumpy, but I'm kind of an average heighted dude, I think. So I'm going to ask some of our listeners, if you guys will hit the hotline for Brock, 985-664-9503. Do it now. Do it after you listen. If you are, a man of a shorter height, or a woman or not shorter, but of a height that, would have been popular in like the late 1800s or whatever. Or if you are a woman who is, your perception of a man who is, of a smaller stature, give us some thoughts on that. Give some insight to Brock. He sounds like kind of a younger dude. So give him, some thoughts. Let's open up our brains to him, because this is something I can't associate on. I cannot, and I'll share some thoughts, but I'm going to let you know, Brock, that I'm going to do a follow-up. I'm going to take a couple of the listeners' calls, and I'm going to put them together on a follow-up for you this week, and we'll post that up. And that'll be just for you, so you can listen. I mean, everybody can check it out, but that'll be just for you to get other people's insights. What my insights are when it comes to lack of confidence is, sometimes you can gain confidence from other people, and I don't know if you have a group of other men, that make you feel kind of confident with who you are, no matter what. I did some weird shit in my life over the years, dude. Man, I'm going to tell you this. I never told anybody this, bro. When I was in high school, because my eyes kind of go down, I got that Polish mindset. And Polish people look a little bit dead from like the from the bottom of their forehead to like the top of their nose. Our eyes died. Something happened to us. It's almost like somebody just, like they cut off the power, when they were making our eyes and stuff. We just look a little dead in the eyes. So you have to lighten, you have to, spark up sometimes to look interested. And when I was young, I felt just super inferior about my eyes for some reason. And so, dude, I didn't wear it, but I put eye drops in my eyes 40 times a day, man. There wasn't a day, Brock, that I didn't have an eye dropper on me all day, dude. And I don't even know why. Like, what did I just, in my weird mind, I had, no one had ever said anything about my eyes. One kid had called me Chinese one time. and that's fine, whatever. The Chinese, they're plentiful and they're, they have great spices and everything, I've learned now. But, but one kid had just made fun of me for that or said that, but I just had this in my head that my eyes were weird and everything. And then next thing you know, I'm doing eye drops. And then I was living with a family when I was in high school, and one of the girls had a eyelash curler, dude. And we had picture day at school. And I just felt, I'd never seen an eyelash curler. And then I saw her using it, and then I was like, man, I want to have better eyes, I want to have better eyes. So I used a woman's eyelash curler, and it's not a hot iron where you're like fucking, getting a damn heated wand close to your face. It's just a, just a little one you use. It's a little metal one. But I curled my damn eyelashes, dude, and went to school, and man, I remember. And I had this jacket on, right? And then at recess or whatever, I took the jacket off. It's Louisiana. You wear a jacket for 9 minutes in the morning. And I had it off, and somebody put their hand in my jacket pocket, was like sitting, and I moved chairs, so it was on the back of my chair. Somebody took my chair at lunch or whatever, put their hands in, pulled this eyelash curler out, dude. And somebody's like, dude, what the fuck is this, right? And literally, bro, I'm sitting there with these curled eyelashes on picture day, dude, all because I felt inferior about the way that I looked, man. But I'll tell you this, bro, that I noticed, here's my perspective. Guys that are of smaller stature or not horizontally gifted or whatever, little, sweet little gentlemen, they look better. They can get muscle on them, So you do curls for 2 weeks, you're gonna be jacked, But longer people, they got to do longer work to get the muscle. I think that's a gift. I think smaller guys do better at stuff like wrestling, looking for things that are on the ground. Dude, if you're tall, that's a fucking, come on, dude. You could put your back out. But a small friend, they help you find anything that could be on the ground. That's easy for them. That's natural. So I think there's a lot of advantages to being of a smaller stature. But I think helping to find a group of people that support you, how you feel no matter what, will probably increase some of that confidence. But I'll say this about bars as well. I never felt confident in a bar, especially not at a nightclub, But I never felt super confident at a bar. It's a weird environment where there's a lot of alcohol, rowdy people are being rowdy. Sometimes it's not always my vibe, especially a nightclub. And actually bars, I wasn't as bad, but a nightclub, I felt inferior a lot of times, man. I felt inferior. There's always something wrong with me. So, yeah, we got to increase your confidence, Brock, and I don't know exactly how to do it, but I know you're not the only person who thinks about those things about themselves. We all have something wrong with ourselves, So, I mean, if you're a smaller stature, you get to be that fucking Mighty Mouse. You could be shit for Halloween I could never be, dude. You know what I'm saying? You could be a gerbil. You could be you could be Danny DeVito. You could be, what else could you be? Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog. You got access to kind of smaller scale costumes, and that's pretty, that's a rarity, And I know some of these ideas maybe aren't helpful, but I'm thinking some of our other people can give you helpful ideas. So if you guys will hit the hotline for Brock, if you're smaller, shorter stature, how he can increase some of his confidence, I'll share those in a separate video. We'll put that up on Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to say Thursday, so that'll give me a little more time to get it done. All right, let's hear a little bit more. Next caller.
Hey, Theo. It's Dave from Texas. Just got, listened to the podcast and stuff, talking about relationships and all that. I just got out of a thing with this girl. She was it was like a long distance thing. And, she kind of said she wanted to not break things off, but take a break for a while she figures stuff out, because we're both busy people. We have children. We have, one child each. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're in a long-distance relationship. You got one child each, and you're already in a long-distance relationship, and now you want to take a break. Okay, onward.
I have a child. I have a daughter. She has a son. Stuff.
Yeah, y'all both got one child each. Okay.
Stuff like that. Just the
Stuff like that. I mean, we're talking about children here, but yeah, that's children, man. That's not stuff like that. Stuff like that is some books or something, or some, a box of hats. But I feel you though. Onward.
distance and all that stuff's kind of like not making sense right now. So I guess taking a little break, but I was just wondering if you had any advice for people who are like, kind of depressed about that situation. You can't be with somebody that you want, even though you want to, or, sometimes you just don't want to get out of bed and go to work just because you're thinking about all that. And
yeah, man, I appreciate this call. Yeah, I can relate to this, man. I had a girlfriend that was long distance, and I loved her as much as I knew about love at the time. I loved her. She was worth love. She was worth me loving. She was worth me caring about. She was a good person. And I wasn't a good dude. I was running around. I was, cheating, and, I made some poor choices, snacking on some, distant crotch out in the distance and doing that kind of deal. But she was, and she had made some poor choices. We both tried our best because it was long distance. That was that's the correlation with yours, or the parallel, is that it was long distance, But when she finally shut me off, and it was really the best thing to do because I was just volatile, man. I wouldn't show her as much affection and stuff, but then once she shut me off, I was like all over, I was, then everything was so severe and we were so in love, I was just like deep in that shit like that. I was in there like that. And part of that ended up just being a problem in hindsight that I had to, I had this issue of my own. That was my own issue. It wasn't, there was some stuff about her, I missed her and stuff like that. But I didn't have any, I think I looked to her for more than a relationship. I was looking to her to fulfill some role that was impossible for her to fulfill. Like I was looking for her to be my happiness. That's what I was looking for, man. I know that may sound crazy, but I was looking for her to be my happiness. And that's not realistic. You can't put that pressure on somebody because they'll never live up to it. They're never going to be able to be that. They can help, there'll be part-time happiness for you, but they're never going to be able to fully fulfill that. And so I didn't realize I'd put that pressure on her, but once we split up, dude, I was just like, my whole life is over, Even though my life had been kind of, we were long distance, we were, my life had been kind of okay. So I found for me, I put like this invisible pressure, and in the end, it was more about, me figuring out, well, why do I feel alone? Why do I feel this alone? Because it wasn't really her filling me up that much, making me feel unalone. And whenever she left, it sparked this thing in me, because that's how I got, bro. I got depressed. I'm chilling at the house. I'm eating cereals. I'm eating a box of cereal a day, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like a mentally challenged person, or like a second wife that's not, pulling their weight. I'm just at home eating a box of cereal a day. And I started doing menthol cigarettes in the backyard, and I was just so depressed, and I was putting it all on her. But the truth was for me that I was alone, that I was feeling empty no matter. And whatever happened with her just sparked. It was a spark that set off that empty dynamite inside of me that made me, just made me realize how empty I was. So I think maybe just, I know it's a lot. It sounds like you have a child there. So I'd focus on that if you can, honor some of those feelings when you're missing her, but don't let that feeling, if you can help it, what is that feeling? Oh man, I miss her so much, I'm going to go, I'm going to be depressed. I'm going to, not want to get out of bed. I'm going to do those types of things, because then there's more to it. There's more to it. What else? Is there something else? Are you missing, are you lacking a relationship with your mother? Are you missing, other outlets that make you feel like you? find some shit to do, I think. Pick up a new hobby. Just create more of you so that there's not so much space in there for someone else to, that if they leave, that there's so much haunting. There's so much space for that haunting feeling. Because it maybe seemed like maybe she's gone, and now those haunting feelings are just bouncing off the walls inside you, and there's so much emptiness inside of you because you're not filled up with some of yourself or more of yourself. And those are just some thoughts, man, because that's what my problem was. In the end, there wasn't enough of me inside of me, to hold me up, no matter who came along, and filled in that other space. I needed to give them less space inside of me, so that if they came or went, I was still had enough fortitude to hold myself up, no matter who that was that came along. So, and I don't know what some of those things are. It could be, finding a local group. There's a group online called Mankind, I know, that helps men get there, just be men, and fill ourselves up, with whatever we need to be better men in a relationship or out of a relationship. And those are just thoughts, man, But I do feel some of your pain, man, and just know you're not alone in that game, bro. I'm saying I've been out in those fucking pain streets, dude. Laying at my step-parents' house, fucking eating snacks, dude. Dude, I remember one time laying on the ground and just pouring a full fucking can of Planters nuts into my mouth, dude. And just wishing the devil would take me or that the Lord would send me on. That's what I remember, dude. And that shit ain't, some woman didn't really do that to me in hindsight. Something was empty inside of me. And I was trying to fill it with these canned nuts, and asking for the devil. So, but I appreciate your call, man. That's a good bit of calls. We have some other cool ones, man. We got a call about a sperm center that I wanted to get to, but I'm not going to get to it today because, I just feel like I don't like taking up too much of y'all's time. But actually, you know what, man? I'll put some, I got to do some extra stuff for the Patreon. I want to thank my Patreon supporters. And I want to thank all of my listeners, man. And I want to thank the callers, 985-664-9503. Hit the hotline, and that's it. It's, we're all battling something, and that's something to remember, whether you feeling short in stature, whether you feeling, if you get into a threesome, how will I hold up? Will I still be able to, take my man, be a man? Talk to your wife before you go in. You guys are on the same team in that thing. It's like the old school. It's like, it's like Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, the Rockers, versus Hawk and Animal. It's like an old wrestling. That's like wrestling. A foursome, that's like wrestling. Go in there with a teammate. Have a referee, hire a referee even, to make sure that everything runs smoothly if you need to in that instance. But we all have questions. We all have questions every day that we're asking ourselves, and that we're asking each other, and sometimes get somebody else's perception, and try not to make things too heavy if you can. You might be a little shorter this time, man. Maybe you 5 this time, but maybe next time you 6'4", and you a brother and you dunking on people, in the mean streets of Chicago, so you don't know what you're going to get next time, and this is all part-time, but just don't be alone out there. Ask somebody for help if you need assistance, if you need just somebody else to shoulder your burden, man. Because once you tell somebody else your problem, instead of sitting on 2 shoulders, now it's riding on 4, baby. A little bit lighter, isn't it? But I appreciate you guys hitting me up, man. I'm going to fucking try to keep my shit together, dude. Jeepers. I sometimes just get selfish, man. That's what I find. I just want to, I don't want to do things sometimes for other people, and I want to just think about myself. That's something that I've been, we got to get free of ourselves, man. We got to. I appreciate you guys. Be well, man. Take care of yourselves. Well, let's hit this original on the way out. This is Spencer Jacob Growl Band, Celebrate.
Celebrate living,
Celebrate it, man.
Celebrate misery. You know that soon we're
Celebrate it.
gonna die.
Don't take things too seriously, you know? If somebody's dying, finish your fries, you know what I'm saying?
Celebrate dark days. Celebrate all your pain.
Life's serious enough, dude.
Exercised.
Go home.
Let's have some
Love your family. Love yourself. That'll help, man. Thank you guys for being here for me today, this week, this past weekend. You guys take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jonathan Kite, and welcome to Kite Club, a podcast where I'll be sharing thoughts on things like current events, stand-up stories, and 7 ways to pleasure your partner. The answer may shock you. Sometimes I'll interview my friends. Sometimes I won't. And as always, I'll be joined by the voices in my head.
You have 3 new voice messages.
A lot of people are talking about Kite Club. I've been talking about Kite Club for so long, longer than anybody else. So great.
Hey, sweetheart, here's the deal. Anyone who doesn't listen to Kite Club is a dodgy bloody wanker. Do you know what I mean?
Hi, I'll take a quarter pounder with cheese and a McFlurry.
Sorry, sir, but our ice cream machine is broken.
No!
I think Tom Hanks just butt dialed me. Anyway, first rule of Kite Club is tell everyone about Kite Club. Second rule of Kite Club is tell everyone about Kite Club. Third rule, like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts or watch us on YouTube, yeah? And yes, don't worry, my Brad Pitt impression will get better.